in this episode.
Like, it's right now Donald Trump and Tim Kennedy is like the main characters of this narrative.
with his 25 hand grenades.
Well, it's just like I saw the meme was like it was something about Tim Kennedy, because Tim Kennedy is somehow linked to the Tesla.
Yeah, dude, they were on a reality show together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
In an obtuse world, Mark and Jefe will combine military, law enforcement, and general FUD knowledge to keep you vertical. Welcome to the Live, Laugh, Larp podcast.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Thanks for swinging by another episode of the Live, Laugh, Larp podcast. Once again, we have everything up and running. Hopefully, this. If you guys missed it on the New Year's special, I did talk about some technical difficulties, and we had to basically redo this podcast this time. So this is going to be episode 3 of 2 or 2 of 3.
2 of 3. Yeah, that's how math usually works.
Something like that.
There's an episode 1, then there's an episode 2. Actually, there's an episode like 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. And
We'll go back and re-record the preludes later.
But with all that being said, we really appreciate you guys swinging on by and checking things out. Happy New Year. I've said it once before, but I want to say it again. Hopefully your guys' 2025 is starting off way better than mine.
We are not doing good at dry January, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that is 100% sure. And once again, naturally, you're going to hear some commotions in the background because we have animals running all over the place. But with all of that being said, Jefe, how are you?
Tired, man.
I bet.
Man.
Congratulations to you.
Yes, number 2 just showed up unexpectedly, and yeah, don't know why we started all over again, but it's been a fun ride. And a brand new parent tired has been achieved when you have a toddler plus a brand new baby. So. Yep.
Yeah, I can understand that, and you're halfway to your fire team, so congratulations.
Yeah, I think the fire team is going to be nixed. I think we're just going to stick with the scout squad.
Right on. So once again, we need to say a huge thank you to you guys. We continue to see our analytics grow and build each and every single episode, and that's because you guys continue to listen. Again, if you guys have anything that you want to send out to us, you can always comment in the Spotify not episodes, but like if you're listening to us on Spotify, that's what I'm trying to say. You can actually comment on the episode and tell us how great we're doing or whatever. And if you want to do that, you can always send us an email. You can check us out on the Firearms Radio Network or YouTube. That's where we're
and Instagram.
Instagram, yeah, we're on Instagram. Yeah, you can send us DM there too. Slide into our DMs if you'd like to. With that being said, once again, we're going to try this again. Jake?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Who are you? What do you
do? Pleasure.
Who are you?
Mi amo es Jacob.
There we go.
Simulcast in Espanol.
I work for Mantis and ran into Mark and Jefe at SHOT Show last year.
Two last years ago.
Two last years ago.
Two last years ago.
We're getting there. Yeah, it's in like 2 weeks. So found out that this podcast and Fit and Fire were posted up in Manhattan, and that's just down the road from where I'm at. I do the Kansas and Oklahoma sales for Mantis, and we just thought we should probably hang out since we were all so close together.
I can't remember. Didn't you have like where you were from on your name tag or something? We're like, hey, that's like literally right down the road from us.
Yeah. It shot. It asks like your home city and state.
Right, yeah.
And my credentials were like Manhattan, and I'm almost positive I saw it on you guys. I don't know if I saw it on your name tags or if it was.
Oh yeah, I don't remember, but it was just one of those where like kind of did that like Spider-Man meme, like
you
just you're down the road from us. We should go shoot guns sometimes. So.
Yeah, no, and it's worked out, and I'm stoked to be able to just be here and hang out with you guys and chit chat a little bit.
Does your bosses know you're here?
Yeah, for sure. I marked it as a work day, so if they ask, then I'll tell them I was here. But no, for sure. This is sanctioned brutality here.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Oh, we'll have to keep.
We have to monitor what we say, I guess.
For round 2, baby. Here we go.
The last time that we had Jake on here and the file got all corrupted and just didn't work out, we had a great discussion. We talked about We talked about shooting competitions. We talked about hunting. We talked about
So everything else we talk about on these
yeah, right. We talked about. I mean, we talked about some politics stuff too. you
Yeah,
know?
we got a little political.
Yeah,
okay.
a little bit. So, hopefully, we're going to try to recreate some of that. But Hefe's here; he's going to put his own spin on it because he's always got the best questions. But needless to say, let's just get it out of the way first. Is you have something kind of special hidden away in that little.
Oh,
Is it the
pelican.
Glock?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I didn't know if that story went around already. But
No.
on that last episode, we were
What?
talking
Not
about.
the Glock. No, it's not Glock.
Oh.
But
Oh
No.
no, that will be at shot though.
Oh, will we?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Yeah. I mean, probably actually.
Yeah, everybody's just confused. What
Like
are they talking
slightly
about?
sliding people, but no. Okay, so funny story. Last time we were talking about like some of the things that we've already released in the last couple months,
Yeah.
and we got onto the story of surplus Glock 19s, law enforcement.
yeah.
For some reason, and I don't remember why we got there, but I started giggling because I have a surplus 22 that I was ironically using to show off our Torax. And I don't know if like anyone had seen that yet, but I was shown Mark, and we were talking about the cutouts, like old LE cutouts, and how like the first one you had was like
Just dremelled.
in.
Yeah,
and
dremelled in.
so
right.
I brought this
As the Lord
and I was like-
intended.
yeah, exactly, right. So I brought this, but it has the Torax on it. So just a lot of fun little things had happened.
Yep, that is.
Don't judge the mass driver. That
I'm
was
gonna say, this is, like we have Strike Industries. You're on here. We got a Steiner laser.
but yeah, that's the Steiner Tor.
Okay,
We partnered with Steiner to prove we could put our sensors in like everyday carry items.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an X10 inside that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hot dog. So then, like, you don't even have to like take off your Mantis or
Right.
it's just
Yeah. It was,
hopefully unload your magazines and unload your gun and then
exactly.
go play.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Feels
yeah.
dirty holding a 40 again.
I know.
I was
right?
just I
Especially
just saw
after-
that Grantham video
Yes,
about
dude.
is 40
How deadly is 40?
how deadly is 40.
Yeah.
Like, let me phrase that. I saw it. I almost pointed myself on my face. I saw it and then I was like, oh, that's funny, and then I just scooted on by. So
Yeah.
so you can spend, how much is this Steiner?
380.
380,
Yeah.
and it's just a laser though.
Yeah. Just point
Dude.
laser with X10 in it. No, I know, and that's something we were kind of talking about last time. Was you
Like,
know,
and laser. This
Uh,
mass driver is just crazy though.
isn't it like super glonky?
It's super glonky,
dude.
It wobbles. That's great. That's probably something that you don't want to have.
Have you seen
And
like
why
how
don't you
they're
take one
supposed to
stick of
work? Like
bigger
Yeah,
the
just, like,
science,
slam it
slide
back.
forward. Yeah, it's silly, but I had it, and I was like, whatever, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought it looked like. Oops, sorry, it looked like a Harrington Arms for a second. Like, ooh, that looks fancy, but
It's not.
No.
it's fun.
no.
But it's also incredibly picky. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
That's what sucks about comped guns. We this is about 2 years ago now. I had a Glock 19 with a Parker Mountain on it, and that thing was like, if you shoot 115s in me, dog, I can't do it. I can't do this, dude. So it got really expensive to shoot because you had to shoot probably like 124s worked really really well, but it was more like 147s out of it or 124 plus
Heavy.
Ps.
Yeah.
Like you had to shoot some heavy ass loads out of that thing. So
It's ironic because they, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not advertised for 40 cal.
oh, really,
It's advertised for 9. And like there's been people online asking, and Strike Industries is always like, well, you know, it's designed for the Glock 19,
Yeah.
so we don't recommend it. But yeah, I mean, it absolutely runs like a dream with 40.
say this looks like some Blade Runner esque shit.
Yeah,
It
it does,
does,
right?
dude.
Like,
Yeah.
it looks like a USP match, like for all my Half-Life 2 friends out there.
Yep. That's pretty nice. We talked about it last time is, they have the laser on here, but it would be so easy just to swap out that laser for an LED and run a light,
I think
This
we
world's
should. If
smallest
we can
little
find
light.
one, we should do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let's take a couple steps back. So the Steiner and Mantis crossover. What is Mantis for those who don't?
for the uninitiated.
For the
Yeah.
initiated?
Yeah.
Great point.
We always have to start at the very
Thank
beginning.
you. Yep, fundamentals. Fundamentally, it's a marksmanship improvement sensor. That's what the company started with, was a hacked accelerometer and gyroscope. And the whole point of that was to provide a way for people to get access to good fundamental based training for any of your firearms, pistol, rifle, shotgun. It even does archery. and really, that's where the company started. Last, I think it was March or May, I can't remember, and sue me for this, but it was the 10-year anniversary of the shooting performance sensor, the X series sensors. Since then, through gained popularity and recognition in dry fire, we've done all sorts of devices, some that you guys are familiar with, like the Blackbeard, Blackbeard X. Yep. Soon we'll have reset systems for, pistols like, I can't technically say which, but certainly the two most popular handgun manufacturers, and probably their two
Taurus
most
G2C.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How did you know, dude?
Is it G2X now? Does it have an X version now?
Yeah,
I saw Caleb.
Yeah.
I was like Taylor Givens. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Caleb was had a whole video about it.
I got an email about it.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna get one?
Yeah, of course I'm going to get one.
Anyways,
No.
Mantis.
I could go on a rant, but yeah. So that's what we do. Marksmanship improvement. That's the whole goal. Stated mission is train 1 million shooters a year. Not quite over that mountain yet, but we're really close. Doing really well.
Yeah.
But I think one of the interesting things that we brought up in the last episode was the number of Marines and in the future probably soldiers that you've already trained.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So for any of the military folks out there, or non-military folks, I guess, Army and Marine Corps both have a dry fire week before they get to go qualify, and it's all, getting familiar with their platforms and learning a proper trigger squeeze. In the Army, we called it the washer and dime drills. Went out there, laid out there, did that. Marine Corps calls it dry week. But all the new recruits in Parris Island for the last almost year now have been using Blackbeard X's. And Marine Corps never had to issue training shooters. But we've taken their qualification rates from a standard 85 to 90% all the way to 100 for every Marine who used Blackbeard X with the app before going to the range, and they're doing it 2 days faster. So it's a proven system. Yep. It's pushing everybody up over the ledge. You get immediate familiarity with fundamentals of pistol or rifle, and taking it straight to the range like that and qualifying first time around. So
and some other cool uses, but we can get later.
Oh yeah,
later and
yeah. It's been a while. We need to go down that alley because we haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some local police departments. We talked about that last time too.
Yep.
Some local PDs throughout Kansas, some larger counties too that are actually using it. So
you said you've partnered up with like 6 different
counties?
6 or police officers.
Yeah,
police
6
departments.
throughout the 3 largest counties in the state.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
No,
pretty
that's
good.
right.
yeah.
Oh, you're actually part.
Well, I mean, I would call
we have
Riley
it.
County's definitely top 6 for sure.
Oh, cool.
I would suggest.
I say we have. I know we have the systems. We use them a bunch, and we're gonna try to use them more. I didn't know if what's considered partnered or not, but
Well, I mean,
we didn't get.
when I say partnered, I mean I sold it to them and they're using it.
That's right. No, that checks the box.
But I'm there.
Yeah.
So if anything comes up, I'm always down to clown with those guys. So, but yeah, that's the history of me and Mantis.
How did you become how did you get into Mantis?
Heavy tech background. So I did tech stuff in the Army, geospatial analyst. Got out of the Army, did software for about 6 years across a number of companies, and then Mantis was looking for help. They're on the up and up during COVID, when everyone was locked in and they couldn't go to ranges and all that.
Yep.
We were a pretty good solution for that, and really took off. So they were on a big hiring kick, and I threw my hat in the ring, and
Here you are.
here I am.
Yeah. That's good.
It's cool. It's fun. I get to meet guys
How long
like
have
you.
you been with Mantis then? So then
November was 2 years.
2 years.
Yep.
Okay. And then, and you work sales. Is there any other positions have you?
Multiple hats.
Multiple
Yeah.
hats.
So sales is like basically a part-time gig.
Is it working? Is everyone recording?
Everything's
already?
working. Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
I had to double check. I didn't want to start.
Yeah.
From the top, boys. From the top.
Just adjusting levels here. You
Okay,
know?
gotcha.
Am I too loud right here? Yeah. So it's been good. It's been good.
So what has been the coolest thing that you've seen so far being with Mantis, and some of the, maybe not necessarily disclosing what it is, but some of the future endeavors that you guys might be getting into?
Yeah. So without getting too crazy with
course,
it. We've been approached by a couple of precision companies that, are looking for more ways to get the accelerometer in tune with long distance. And that's something where we want to be able to lean into that community. We pride ourselves on teaching marksmanship and creating shooters. What better pinnacle than the pinnacle of marksmanship, which is long distance. So that's something we really want to be able to look for opportunities in and kind of lean into. Obviously, more platforms for the Blackbeard style systems. Just back in October, we released the MCX versions. Right before Christmas, we released AR-10, Scar Light, Scar Heavy. And then shortly, we'll have AK and MP5 out as well, among some handguns.
You
that we're trying
had
to
the
get going,
MP5 out faster than PSA did. And that's sad. Speaking of which, by the way, everyone listening, it should be X57 quarter coming up soon. Like they said, it was quarter 1, 2025. It should be released.
Oh yeah.
So it's been very quiet. So
yeah, exactly. If they have one at range day, I will be.
They'll have a prototype.
I will be flabbergasted.
That's something we need to talk about before we get too derailed. We'll have a section about SHOT Show guesses.
Okay. Yeah. SHOT Show bingo.
Yeah, SHOT Show bingo. Like what?
This is my favorite time of year.
Oh,
like the month leading up to SHOT Show, everyone's teasing. Instagram's on fire because there's always some
the
good
Glock
stuff.
thing that just came out that I saw that I'm like this.
The RXM, dude.
Yeah, I looked at it like, I'm mad about this because what happened is. So our department, we are doing that. Glock has started to do direct milling from the factory now. So you can get, for law enforcement, you can get like optic gun packages. And one of them was the
Acro
P2. Sorry. I have been so far away from like the firearm stuff for about like a month and a half that like I'm forgetting things, but, so you can get a direct milled Acro P2 on a Glock 47, I think.
When you say direct milled, you mean like straight up paired out of the
it's
ready
like,
to go.
Yeah,
no plates.
No plates.
Okay,
The slide is direct milled for an Acro P2.
Yep. Okay.
And then I saw that thing today. I'm like, well, shit, they're gonna get rid of that whole program's like, well, now you're gonna have to buy this new. Was it Aimpoint?
Are you talking about the new optic that literally launched like last week?
Yeah.
last week that it fits in the new Glock?
MOS system.
HCX or
Whatever
H
it is.
something.
Is it
yeah.
Aimpoint?
It's Aimpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Sexy, too.
that's what's going to be the end thing is how many different footprints can we develop this year?
Right.
So I actually think that the primary arms HTX1.
That's what I was thinking of. That's what I
Yes.
was thinking of, not the new Aimpoint. I'm sorry. That's where I was at. Yep.
That one is already undercutting the Aimpoint.
Yeah.
And they haven't even released it yet. I mean, it's not even out to the general public. I sent an email to Primary Arms to say, hey, can I get my hat in the ring for a sample to test and evaluate? And they said, yep, we got your name on the list. So as soon as it's available, I'll have it.
What footprint is it using? I have no idea what.
So the plate that it uses is a very like minimalist, low profile plate, and they have 3 different plates that will accommodate what I'm assuming is going to be RMR, probably Doctor,
and Aimpoint, whatever that undercut is. Yeah.
So and then
Yeah.
God damn this thing.
Yeah.
The cat is just going freaking. His name's
Blizzard.
Phantom, and this is the Phantom Menace time of night. So
The Phantom Zone.
but the great thing about it is if you put the HTX1 on a Glock, it will co-witness Glock sights
Okay.
because it sits that low in the MOS system. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to work out.
Looks pretty
and see
hot.
If it's
I
going
would
to
own one.
It's
be able to move from different platform to different platform because I'm not necessarily a Glock guy, right? I have a Glock, but I
Get
prefer,
on board, man.
dude. I'm a CZ dude, man. Freaking run the P10C or the SIG P365X macro comp. Man.
Why are we like this though? Because like I,
know,
love
right?
shooting all pistols.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's just like the Chevy, Ford, Dodge guys.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It's
Toyota.
Xbox, PlayStation. Who are you?
It's we find arbitrary things to latch onto to make ourselves feel like we're part of a a tribe.
I don't know what it is, but like, I hate identifying as a Glock. I don't hate it. I like my Glocks and Glock clones, you know? But like, when I see a SIG guy, I'm just like,
SIG,
dude, come on, man.
It's kind of like that.
But there's no disrespect because like I've shot some amazing SIGs, so
It's definitely that. Everyone like the CZ, the Glock community, like the 1911 guys, everyone just kind of pokes fun at each other. But then the SIG guy shows up, and everyone just doesn't want to even talk to that.
even
person.
HK guys start sniffing around. There.
What I'm actually really surprised of too is, and I haven't really been looking too much, is how little, like, because usually this is the week where the people start getting like announcing stuff, and all I see is the new Mossberg shotguns that no one asked for, and the new Glock mounting platform, which no one asked for.
All right.
We just talked about it. Freaking Taurus. Taurus has
it's-
their new
yeah.
pistol.
But
Yep.
that's fair. Okay, Taurus.
I have a conspiracy theory that like all the new kind of things that are coming out for shot are based on Halo. And like that's not a pure lack of not knowing gun knowledge. Like the 590Rs
Yeah.
look like
Yep.
combat evolved shotguns.
On X, Mossberg put a post and says, what is one word that this reminds you of, or something to that
And
effect.
everybody was like,
It
Halo.
was Halo, the entire comment.
Okay.
Just
Strike
speaking of
Industries.
Halo, we could talk about Cybertruck and Halo.
Yeah.
It makes me feel
That's
like
another
Halo.
thing. Yeah. And then Strike Industries' new P90 frame. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It looks like the Halo assault rifle. Like, I mean, to a T, and I want one. The same way I want a 590R, not because they're,
Yeah.
like, I'm a Halo guy, and
Yeah,
those are
you're
things
right,
where I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, I would do that.
I mean, I think Halo is what brought me back into video games. I kind of
for
stepped
sure.
away for a little bit, and then I finally played Halo like in 2007. I mean, like years after it had came out, and I was like, holy cow, this is fun. And then it was nonstop since then,
I love me some Halo.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, that's, I think, all the new guys. I'm telling you, go look up the new P90 thing. It's like, dude, I kind of want a P90 now.
Well, and then there is another company, a very small company. They're going to be with AK Builder at SHOT Show. I've already talked to the guys that own the company. They're coming up with a PP19 Bison. I mean, like a legit...
Stuffing things?
No. They have a magazine adapter
For the
AKV and the
Okay.
KP9.
Okay.
These guys are like legit.
Is this the one that you bought a kit for like 3 years ago and hasn't seen yet?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and
We all
matter
need
of
a
fact,
Kickstarter.
because I have the receiver for it. I just don't have the kit for it. And I was actually talking with this company and said, yeah, it actually was, I had purchased a kit and everything years ago. And they're like, oh, well, who was it with? And I was like, it was such and such. And they're like, okay, well, we really don't want to talk about him. And I was like, oh, okay,
Well, where's my
that's
money
fine.
then?
I was like, that's fine. I'm indifferent one way or the other. I don't know one thing or to the other. But at the end of the day, these guys are like legit making a clone of the PP 19 Bison, and I'm trying.
Shot 19.
Yep, I'm trying to see. Just want to get the name of.
So PB stands for? Like the PP, like the PBH?
No. I think it's R, like, because it's Cyrillic. It's R's. I can't remember what the stands for, but it's like RRSH.
Okay.
It's coming from LM Ironworks, is who the company is making that. So
Sick.
that'll be something I'll be interested in seeing.
Are they actually going to have a booth, or is this going to be guys walking around with parts in their pockets?
No, they're
like with Jacob, the gun quality force. But like there's a guy that he's really big with I don't know if you follow him or not.
Yeah.
But like all the Makarov stuff he did.
Right.
It was literally some dude walking around like shot you with all that stuff in his pockets. He's like, "Hey, look at this slide. Hey, look at this."
Dude, that's the hustle I can get after. I like that.
It's like, "Hey, look at my mixtape, dog."
Well, LM Ironworks, they're going to be partnered up with AK Builder, so they're going to like kind of embed into their table, their booth, whatever. So that's like day one. You got to stop. Day one, first
PSA.
stop is Zastava,
Okay.
and then
PSA.
immediately after Zastava is PSA,
Yeah.
and then media room, edit, upload.
Get back on the floor.
Yep, and get back onto the floor, and then it's straight to AK Builder to go find that Bison. So
Is there anything coming out for Zastava that we know of, or you know of?
They just finally started shipping the M72 RPKs, so
Ooh.
that's about it. I mean, that's really about it. I think there might be some big surprise, but I can't imagine there would be.
Like last year, where they had that lady that made all the jewelry and clothing out of brass casings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 9mm earrings.
Yeah.
Yep. I got my wife some of those at NRA. Like the first year I went, I was like, what could I get my wife that's like gun culture, but because she doesn't do a lot of
How'd she
shooting.
take it?
She was okay with it.
Was she?
She worn them like
good.
twice.
Yeah, got your money's
Better
worth.
once. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't even remember the company's name, so like we're definitely not, crapping on anyone here. But
No. It was, if I remember correctly, it was, what's the owner's name again of Zastava? Oh, thank you, man.
You're gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot. You guys deem each other all the time, I feel like. Ronco. Yeah, it was like his brother's wife or something like that. It was like,
Yeah, there was some type of relation
yeah.
of some sort.
And
so.
she was like Miss
and she was the one doing all the
Miss
jewelry
Serbia
and-
20 whatever.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so sick, dude. It's so fun.
I mean, I think last year at SHOT Show, that and talking with the what's that clothing company that you got some clothes from?
Vertex?
No.
No.
The
Vic
Serbian
does?
ones.
oh,
I'm blanking out on it too.
Yeah.
Because we've been testing them at the department as well because Cry's
legit.
fucking- yeah,
Cry is so expensive.
It's so
dude.
expensive, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we want this plain black one's cool. That's a 6-month waiting list just to get like.
to pay $600 for
Yes.
a pair of pants.
Oh man.
I shouldn't
It's
say
it's
it like
yeah.
that.
It's something that.
I can't remember, but
Yeah.
that guy was hilarious. He's like, I tested this before. Like when I was a Serbian sniper, you're like, oh God, you probably have a collection of blue helmets in your house, don't you?
These do not wear out. These are very tough
I've had
pants.
these same ones since 1985. Oh God, you've killed people.
What are all these notches on your buttstock? Yeah, that's SHOT Show's going to be a great time. This year, hopefully, if, as we were talking about off air, if everything works out with the room situation, because Airbnb, for you guys out there, Airbnb just today, as we're recording this on the, what day is this?
Ninth.
The 8th.
8.
Yeah.
Almost enough. We're close.
They just canceled my room, so now I'm like stuck with no room, and there's 5 of us that were supposed to be sharing a room. So should be able to get it. It should be no problem. I have to fork over a little bit more cash, but we're gonna have tons of fun. Tons of fun.
No, you guys have a terrible time because I'm not going to be there. So
Well, legit. I mean,
no,
I'm dead serious.
No.
Kyle
yeah,
and Jacob, they were very upset.
I know. Like,
So
I was a little bummed when you said you weren't going.
yeah, I mean, how dare my child show up so soon to SHOT Show? Never
The
again.
audacity of these infants
almost,
these days.
but it's
dude.
almost like there should have been some pre-planning about.
Man, hey, like for all the guys out there are kind of getting into the family building side of their lives, like there's no planning. It's just everyone's good to go, like 24/7. It's a great time. This is what I'm mad about this one. Our first kid, it took like a year and a half of just. At first, it was just like, whenever. It was a great time. Like I was having a ton of fun, and then people start getting sad because it wasn't happening right away. Because apparently, people have lied to us our entire lives. Like you just don't look at a girl and they get pregnant. It's actually, there's some science
What?
behind it. Yeah, no.
There are actually some people that do.
There's some people that do. Maybe I don't know.
They're-
Wasn't us.
They've got
I got
very
chlamydia
large-
from a toilet seat once. Just kidding.
I'm gonna say,
Sorry.
like,
I was-
pause. What?
Let's go back to children. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you bleep that? Or is bleeping allowed?
No, there's no deleting that. You heard it here first, everybody.
I'm bringing out my smoker's cough, man.
No. But yeah, this one was just like one and done. It was like the day we decided to try. It's like
Got her done.
got it done. That's like, so super poopy about that.
I mean that's pretty much how Coriana came along. I mean, I was on emergency leave. It
Bet you were, man.
But seriously, I was on emergency leave for a death in the family, and this was the first time that Amber and I had saw each other in at least 2 months. And yeah, it was
One and done.
one and done,
Life truly is a circle. That's
is.
crazy.
isn't it?
Congrats, though.
Thank you.
First time. I mean, we've been on the horse trying to get round 2 going here,
Okay.
and more so recently.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling
It's
You know,
already
it's-
done, man. Like
I think
it's so crazy. Like
Yeah.
how number 2 just shows up out of nowhere.
my wife gets like these, the pregnancy craving talk and all that. She ate the weirdest cold cut sandwiches. Like when we found out the first time.
You're not supposed to eat cold
No,
cuts.
I know. Listeria,
Really?
listeria.
Listeria.
Yeah, concerning. We steam the meat. It's fine.
Oh.
That's what you're concerned about. You got to steam the meat.
Actually, that's more concerning. I feel like steaming cold cuts. That sounds terrible.
It's bizarre. Thank you for going there because like the sandwiches are wild. She's like ham, mayo, standard, good cheese. Okay, then we start throwing in things like kale, onion, honey, a little bit of mustard. She's
mustard, yep.
one of those '90s kids, so she like crunches freaking Doritos
Oh,
on it.
okay,
You know what I mean?
first of all, I love that. I love.
By the
Breakfast
time you
Club?
get to the end of the sandwich, it's like
You got to add texture, man.
we might as well go Breakfast
what
Club and
lettuce
just
is
eat
for.
like
Exactly,
like the crunch berries and
Yep.
the pound of sugar, whatever it was.
One of my favorite. So like, I bet you everyone here has like those weird. Like, if you look at their YouTube, it's not like this one category shit. It's like I have like on my YouTube, I have like gun stuff. I have like
Anime.
training stuff. I have
Oh, training. Okay.
training stuff.
I was resetting there. I was like,
I now just picked up what you guys are. I got some tranny shit over here.
Adam
And then
Steve.
like cooking is another one. And there's a guy that
ooh, cooking's a good one.
does a lot of his thing is like texture is more important than flavor.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's
For
a
food.
real thing.
Like texture of food.
It's a real thing.
No.
Yeah.
Flavor for me.
No,
No,
100%.
I'm kind of like team. Like, yeah, I gotta have some.
if I don't have a
diversity.
good combination of like a good bite needs to have a little crunch, a little sauciness, and probably like a little bit of pillow. If we're talking like bread, I like to call it pillow.
Okay.
like a good sourdough has.
Yeah.
Like you have that crunch, but then also it's like and then
Soft
it gives
on
in.
the inside.
Yeah.
It gives on the bite. Yeah, I could eat a shit sandwich if that is. Oh,
That's why, like the Crunchwrap Supreme is such so like
dude, my
like,
favorite.
The food is garbage.
Yeah, it's horrible.
but it's like you're on a fucking adventure. It's like, what is this mush crunch?
we make those on our Blackstone. Like,
yeah.
go get some gorditas and a big tortilla and just wrap it up.
That's going to be the next guilty like cooking thing that I buy for my outdoor patio. I'll have my coal plunge, my smoker, my pizza oven, and a Blackstone. Like,
I should show you.
by the way, I got a coal plunge that's like now my new personality. So if we're going to talk.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, it's been fucking miserable.
Is it bad?
Like
how long are your sits?
Right now it's like 30 seconds, dude. My water's 38 degrees right now.
That's way more than I could do. If my like hand washing is too cold, I get really mad about it. So I don't think I could sit in a freezing tub for like 10 seconds.
It feels like an eternity, man.
Does it?
But it feels so great afterwards. Like this happened actually the other day. We're brand new parents, so we're exhausted because kids eat every 3 hours. I don't know if you knew this for the audience. Kid wakes up every 3 hours, so it's to feed, change diaper, get them back to bed, and then get back to bed yourself. It's like a 45-minute ordeal.
Yep.
So you're sleeping for like an hour and a half at a time for breaks, and then we had a toddler on top of that. I remember one day I think I had like 2 hours of sleep, and I was hurting, and so I went and just dove in that thing, woke up like a brand new fucking man. It was like I got baptized in that ice water.
I'd have to consider it.
So
I have an old stock tank. I could do
there
it.
you go.
where this stems from is from the Baltic countries.
Where it's really cold up there. Yeah, I can see that.
right? I got this from the Estonians when I was in Afghanistan. For those of you that don't know, I did coalition support for the Estonians. So I teamed up with them and was in their compound like every day.
That's what she said. It's all up in their compound.
all up in there. But they had in Afghanistan, they had a sauna. And I never understood why. I was like, why would you have a sauna in southern Afghanistan when in the summertime it's like 120 degrees, right? So
Because it's not the 140 Tovarish.
so they invited me over, and I was like, no, I'm good. And finally, I gave in. I was like, okay, let's try the sauna out. Their sauna obviously had a thermometer inside in Celsius, and it was sitting at 100 degrees, right? So that's 212 degrees Celsius, or Fahrenheit, rather, which is the boiling point of water, right?
I thought you were going to say boiling point of human flesh.
I mean,
that
it's
sounds hot,
pretty.
dude.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I smoked a like hamburgers today at 225 for like
Yeah,
3
exactly.
hours.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So 3 hours. You have 3 hours. You're good.
But you go in for about 5 minutes, right? 5, no more than 10 minutes, but you're in there for a very short period of time. And then you get out, and they have showers right next to you, and you just turn on the shower, cold water, and you rinse yourself off, give yourself a few minutes, go back in, repeat the cycle. Now, the Estonians traditionally will have a sauna next to their house, and you'll go in and do the same thing, but they'll come out and jump in the snow or jump into a pond.
Sick.
Yeah.
And this whole thing is to, as they would say, strengthen their immune system. And Captain Kalda was the Estonian
Shout
that I
out
worked
Captain
with.
Calda.
Yeah, right.
You son of a bitch.
To Tomas Kalda, freaking. He was my partner that I
bet he was.
worked with, and he told me that when he was a kid, his dad in the middle of winter would take him outside and like spray him down with water outside and to toughen him up, you know. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, that's where a lot of this cold plunge comes from.
Okay.
It's a lot of that ideology.
I feel like I've seen something with, I don't know what, it was some sort of Baltic country, but they're like, we plunge newborn into water that is ice, you know, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Having little kids, you realize like they're pretty resilient little
dude.
bastards. Like most Scandinavian countries, like there's the practice of your kids will have an afternoon nap outside in the dead of winter. That's like a normal thing. They would put them in their they put them like in a warmer clothing, put them in a blanket, put them in their stroller, and leave them outside to go nap.
We're so bubble wrapped, dude.
Yeah.
I know,
we are
dude.
so bubble
There's
wrapped.
a picture I saw on X where it was Russia, Soviet Union, 1950s, and it was black and white picture, and there was a dozen kids in beds outside,
sleeping outside.
Well, so in Sweden, it's actually considered somewhat rude to bring like a brand new baby inside like a restaurant or something, especially like in the middle of the day, especially if they're fussy. So you'll go to like Sweden in the afternoon, and you'll just see strollers parked outside of restaurants. Just, like talk about a trust society.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
high
say, dude,
trust
that sounds like
society,
a payday to me, dude. That's so many children. Holy cow!
But so yeah, then here it's the amount of I posted that video of my kid on the behind the sled.
Oh yeah,
the amount of fucking hate I got from it. It's like, oh my god, that's so dangerous. You shouldn't do that. Or the one, so many whole story about like my friends did that in high school, and they got in this nasty wreck and decapitated a small child. You should never do this. I'm like, yeah, and a fucking meteor can hit my house tomorrow, dude. Like,
exactly.
I don't like
exactly.
Live a
And
little,
we
dude.
got drones in New Jersey. I mean, I grew up with lawn darts.
Did you guys see that email? Did you guys?
Yes, yeah.
The what?
Sean
about
Ryan
that
thing.
The Sean,
Yeah. Yep.
So, the Cybertruck guy that
Oh right. Uh-huh.
That green bray, dude.
the green
Oh,
beret?
right.
Yeah.
The email.
the
Yeah.
email,
Yeah.
the email,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was debunked, and then it wasn't debunked.
Dude, FBI confirmed it, which you can take
I said
that,
also
take that
co-
word or
I'll
whatever
say-
you want to take it
I was
as.
saying that's the same people that said the Hunter Biden laptop was not
Yeah,
real. So
yeah.
let's
I don't know
take a-
whose cocaine is in the White House. I have no idea, dude. I have no
I
idea.
don't know. We went to Hunter Biden's room, and there was a ton of cocaine everywhere. We have zero idea. Like, this is a high traffic area. So, but yeah, there's so much crazy shit to talk about, like politics in like the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
It's-
I mean, we're on day 8 of 2025.
yeah,
Yeah.
And we've already had how many different things go on?
Oh my
yeah.
god.
It's the
Fires in California. Those are
Oh,
wild.
yeah, that one's picking up. Yeah, fires in California. That's the Cybertruck guy. There's the New Orleans guy.
Mm-hmm.
Drones.
That those two guys are supposedly like linked somehow.
The big
They
thing is
used
like,
the same app, and they were
oh
both
my god, they
stationed
were
at-
stationed at Fort Bragg at the same time to include. And while they were there, the guy who tried to assassinate Trump with the SKS was also there. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Fort Bragg, man. That's pretty fucking big.
Can you believe these 3 men were at New York City at the same time?
Same time. Whoa! But and then what was it? The whole the UK thing that's been kind of swept under the rug about this whole like child pedophile rings.
Oh, that is not on X.
Oh, not on,
It is
X,
all
yeah, but
over X.
It's all over X. But
I
like,
missed that. I missed that one.
Yeah, see.
So
much
there's
IG.
been there supposedly there has been somewhere around 250,000 sexual assaults on British citizens by a certain group of people.
Not
Word.
British,
Okay, all right.
not British
That's what you're
citizens.
thinking. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, and they're just now bringing it to light. Tommy Robinson
Yep,
is
Tommy
the guy
Robinson.
that's
Yep.
been really kind of like pushing this into the light, and he has been doing it for years now. And no one's like, he's like, oh, he's a crackpot, he's a felon, he's been locked up time and time
Probably
again.
because he's
and-
speaking on the internet. That doesn't
Well,
conform
so
with
it's
the...
so the whole thing about like the big besides all that
Yeah.
is that people have known, like the law enforcement has known, like people have known about it, but
Yep.
to promote like a diverse culture and not to start a race riot, they've been sweeping all this under the rug so it doesn't come to light, and now it's coming to light. So
So this is legit.
this
though.
is
This isn't.
it's not like this is not this
is like
Brett
WikiLeaks
Kavanaugh raped me in
level.
like
Yeah.
1985 at a
Yeah.
hotel
Yeah.
high school party. It's like
Right.
no, one of the stories
got
I was reading
receipts.
about was this guy. It was his daughter was like raped several times by this group of people, to include like there's a lot of heinous stuff like body mutilation stuff happening. He found the people that did it, showed up to their house, and told the police like these people have been doing this terrible stuff to my daughter. Look at my daughter. And then he got arrested for
the father
No
got
way.
arrested.
the father got arrested.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be? Like if you show like if that happened to one of your kids and you got arrested for showing up at the dude's house.
Oh, I'd be arrested, all right.
yeah.
Dude, if that was the standard, police wouldn't be involved.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't.
It's was that from the town. So whose car we take?
Yeah.
We're about to go do something. You can never ask me about what it's about. So whose car we're taking?
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
dude, the world's on fire.
it's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figuratively
California, yeah.
and literally.
yeah.
Hey, Kansas is doing pretty great. We got like 18 inches of
Dude,
snow. This
record high in
record-
Wamego.
yeah.
Record wide. And
Yeah, at first the most single day snow
Yeah,
in
24 hours snow.
25
years.
Yep.
Yep. So
got 22 inches between St. George and Wamego.
wow, that's crazy.
Well, my favorite thing about this storm was so it started coming down within an hour. Every just redneck guy on my street with some sort of bucket loader or like a skid steer was just out there hauling snow.
That's
Which
awesome.
was awesome,
Yeah.
but it was still pissing down snow. So they did all this work, and then 10 minutes later, it was like they never fucking
Nothing
touched
happened.
it.
Mhm. Yeah. We got out let's see. What day did it start? Was it Saturday?
Saturday night at like
Yeah.
9 o'clock,
So
and
It
today
was-
is Wednesday.
yep. So it was I guess Sunday.
Mhm.
About midday. It was still kind of snowing. And I was out there freaking shoveling, and I looked over at Nan and was like, there's really no point in what we're doing, but I guess we'll have less to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but it was completely covered again. And then we cleared a really nice spot for the mailman, and then the plows came through and
Yeah.
just freaking.
Oh, we won't get
Covered it
mail
all up.
till Friday. I've had mail in a week. Like
I
it'll
got
be
mail
Friday.
today.
Tomorrow, really?
Yeah,
Uh,
packages.
okay.
I will say packages. not-
Amazon specifically.
Amazon, and then I also got some targets for NRL 22.
Okay. Yeah, we saw something on there that was like big trucks haven't made it from KC distribution or something like that. And then
There should be no
I
reason
mean,
why.
you went all the way to KC and then
Twice.
Twice. Oh, they canceled it again?
Yeah. So I was able to get her on the flight. So
for flights.
yeah, my daughter was with me for Christmas. Her flight got canceled on Sunday. Monday was still a go, so we drove all the way to Kansas City. While we're standing in line, they canceled it. So I had to turn around and come all the way back.
Damn.
And then yesterday, I had to drive all the way back out there again, got her on the flight, and then she was still half an hour late taking off.
No
Well,
way.
so- The Caleb, I was talking to him. Commando Bond, and
Oh, yeah.
he was in Hawaii when this all hit.
Oh.
And he's like, I had to land in Dallas and drive.
Oh.
Like planes, trains, and automobiles at dog, like
Yeah.
just to get home, like somewhat on time.
Yeah.
That's like one of my biggest. I'm a bit of a what if. You know, I fly with my guns everywhere I go. Everything. I got to make sure everything is squared away.
Yep.
And that's like one of my biggest fears is like, what if I end up flying to, like I went to Orlando in August for work, and it was like, man,
What's the hits?
how
now?
do I fight my way home from Orlando?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't. You die like everybody else does. We.
I'm a liver.
I would say no. We are not. We do not have main character status. Like it's right now, Donald Trump and Tim Kennedy is like the main characters of this narrative. And,
with his 25 hand grenades.
well, it's just like I saw the meme. It was like it was something about Tim Kennedy because Tim Kennedy is somehow linked to the Tesla.
Yeah, dude, they were on a reality show together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's like him holding certificate somewhat in the news for like not good reasons or something like that.
Did you see any of those clips of the special forces?
Oh yeah. I remember watching that show.
Why?
It was cool back then.
When was that though? Yeah, when was that?
That was like
early 2000s.
That's probably
right?
like 2000. I would say
was like
5, 6.
7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Their helmets look like bicycle helmets.
That's what they were, man.
With like an ACH, like
did you ever see like?
not multi-cam, ACU wrap on them. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
It
funny.
was
But,
goofy.
like bump helmets back then. That's what they first started out as. Is just
Yeah.
like if you like.
I'm
a
not even
skater
talking
helmet,
like a BMX. Yeah, like a skater BMX.
Oh,
I'm
okay. I
talking
thought-
like road bike.
Gotcha.
You know, the downhill dude that did the land speed record on a volcano. You know what I mean? Like that sweet back.
They
like,
go to Walmart and buy for your
Yes.
child. It has Mickey
I
Mouse
was
all
like,
over it.
dude, these guys are representing Green Berets on national television. They're wearing like Bell helmets with like a shitty ACU wrap on it. Like,
Well, then you had that. They had that one show that was like special forces versus each other. You had like the U.S. Green Beret versus the Russian Spetsnaz.
Oh, what was that?
Oh.
Most Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah, most
yeah,
deadly
yeah,
warrior.
yeah.
And the U.S. Green Beret
They
had
tied.
like
They like tied with.
they
the
had
Russians.
it tied, but like he had a freaking entrenching tool was one of his weapons. I was like, are you fucking serious?
I mean, I sharpened an edge on one of those after
I mean,
watching that.
I'm not saying that
it
it's not an
fucks,
effective weapon.
dude.
No, yeah, but a Green Beret would not be lugging around an entrenching tool.
no, dude. When it comes
I
to hand to
cannot
hand,
see that.
I know what was it Spetsnaz who has like the wooden tool that is sharpened. Like there is
I mean, the Russian, like their entrenching tool. What are you talking about?
I don't know if it's Russian though. I'm saying there's like us, and it could be Russian.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's a special forces unit internationally somewhere that like one of their things is a sharpened,
sure,
like,
yeah,
e-tool
yeah, yeah.
that's-
I remember. It's one of. I
they
think
throw
it's
it like a tomahawk,
the
like they're
GRU.
serious.
I think
Maybe it
I
is.
think
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
was.
And then like the was it the Gorkins?
Gorkas with the Gorkin knives.
Yeah, with those knives. I mean, those things are like 200 years old, but they
Kukri.
still carry them today.
Those
you
are
know?
like those inverted, like
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
inverted
It's got
talons.
that little, yeah. It's almost like got a
The
45
Kukri
degree
have
angle.
large talons.
Yeah, it's freaking. I mean, that's pretty cool. But for as I was sitting there watching it at the time, I'm like, an entrenching tool? Come on.
Well, it's and then I remember that exact episode because it talked about the rifles. It talked about like two other things, and then it was the entrenching tool versus the ballistic knife that the Spetsnaz guys had.
Yeah.
And they play the scenario and they kind of like role play it out. And it's like the last is like one-on-one dude, and the guy like hits him with the entrenching tool. The Russian guy goes down. The Green Beret is standing victorious, and then he like gets him with that ballistic knife. And then it's like it was a tie. We don't know who would win. Just like
Way to save face.
yeah,
What channel was that on?
that was History
History,
Channel.
for
That was
sure.
History
Yeah.
Channel,
Yeah.
obviously. So that I remember I remember seeing that one and like, oh my god, I want a ballistic knife. So because Call of Duty 4 I think was out at the time. No, that was 2 that had the ballistic knives.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we had like the
Yep.
double ballistic knives you just like run around with.
Oh, right.
And,
Only
right.
used them
uh,
in gun game, but yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
And after playing that and watching that, I'm like, oh, I want one of those. And turns out they're highly illegal in the United States. You
No
cannot
kidding.
have one of those.
Oh,
Because the ones they use, those ones are
22, aren't they?
Yeah, they're actually
9 or
they're
something?
actually like a cartridge using it.
Oh, okay.
You can buy a spring loaded version of them and use them, but they're not as cool.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
I mean, depends on what kind of spring you put into it.
I don't know. Like we made a couple of them and they were not as good.
Okay. Well, there you go. You need another drink?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a beer? You
No,
want
I'll go get one. I'll go get a beer.
I'll get it.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
the host.
you're the
I'm
guest, so
host.
you so you have to sit here and talk with
So
us still.
kind.
I know.
So
I mean,
kind, dude.
Granted, we've talked like, yeah, Mantis, that's pretty cool. Anyways, did you see about Tim Kennedy? What was the other? What was the other Tim Kennedy thing I was going to bring up? I can't remember now.
Which part?
I
The
don't know.
one where he admitted that he created a war crime?
No, the X post he had. He had this whole long X post about like, does anybody have any info? Like, we don't like. It was something about we're trying to find as much information. Does anybody know this guy, the Cybertruck dude? If so, like this is potentially his unit. Reach out to us. And the community noted is like the video of him is like, you know him.
Yeah, you know him.
You know him, Tim.
So I mean, it just tells me that Tim Kennedy is a CIA asset. That's what it tells me.
Dude, that's a whole rabbit hole. I the whole Sean Ryan and Sarah Adams or Sarah Adams. Sarah Adams, is that her name?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
This was 3 weeks ago
Where
when
she was talking
she was
about-
talking about ISIS is in the country.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
1,000
yeah,
trained
yeah.
fighters here.
Yeah.
We're gonna see 60,000 casualties.
Yep.
I can't help but think that like it's when we talk about like MK Ultra or like some crazy controlling the masses has always been traditionally through mainstream media, and that's a part of the reason that mainstream media is dying. Why do we never consider the fact that like podcasting, which is the tool to reach the masses right now, isn't infiltrated at some point?
Oh, it is.
And,
It's 100% it is.
yeah, I feel sketchy
On both
for
sides.
putting this
I mean,
like
I mean, not only just like let's say hypothetically, allegedly,
yeah, allegedly for
in
sure.
Minecraft, Sean Ryan is a CIA asset, right?
I mean, he worked for the agency.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
I'm not CIA. So, dude, you used to work for them. Like,
Right?
come on.
Are you even allowed to retire from there?
But
Like,
there's-
is that a
There's no way that you couldn't convince me that people at the CIA looking at Joe Rogan's reach was like, we need to tap into this.
Yeah.
And obviously, okay, Joe Rogan we could probably say that he's centrist, right leaning.
Centrist left centrist.
Okay.
traditional left? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sean
traditional,
Ryan. Sean Ryan is probably right. They're also working on the left as well. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if like TYT is assets as well.
Oh, yeah, the a lot of like I won't get into TYT's funding sources.
Oh,
Like
exactly.
the alleged funding sources.
Exactly.
So. But
yeah.
I mean, even just recently, the whole thing with like Tim Pool and Tenet Media.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing blew up, and it's definitely one of those people are looking at the space, like the podcasting space, and saying this has a lot of reach, and people need to we need to filter it, because beforehand, the legacy media, it's like you got your news from a source, and there was a lot of control behind it. Now it's like we have 3 dudes in a basement on a casting couch drinking beers. Like
the blockchain of information is is dudes in basements with
Yeah.
microphones and access to the internet.
Yeah, I am 30 years old. I am white, and I have opinions. I need to podcast about stuff.
To be 30 years old again, you know.
Yeah.
Now at this point, everything hurts. So
Dude, after shoveling my driveway after the snowstorm, and I don't have we don't live in town. I don't have like a nice paved little driveway to my garage. Like I've got, it's 150 feet of gravel, and we're on a south facing hill slope. So I mean, we just got drifted over.
Yeah.
I was out there for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
My back is throbbing.
oh, I bet.
Next
Yeah,
time we
yeah.
do burpees, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna
Oh
be
yeah, I
shocked,
forgot about that. Yeah,
dude.
we need to do that again. I was bullying Shep Dev about becoming the 51st state, and he's super stoked.
Because ship dev is across the border up
He's
north.
a Canadian. He's
Yeah,
a
oh, yeah,
Canadian,
he's right there, yeah.
or a new American is what
New
we're gonna
American,
call it.
yeah.
Call it.
Yeah.
Them in
I
Greenland.
find it funny that Trump bullied
Trudeau
Trudeau
to
into
quit.
resigning.
Dude, I love
into
it. I
resigning.
love it.
I think the
Listen,
biggest
Mr. Governor.
governor of the 51st beautiful state of America. The only thing I'm really just like, if I had to take my biggest disappointment about not going to SHOT is I don't get to see Seaburn Art's like reaction to Trudeau quitting.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just to see what he's gonna do with that at all. So
Yeah. That's going to be unfortunate. I'll have to keep my eye out for him. If you end up finding where he's going to be, just send me a text and I'll see if I can go.
I wonder if they're gonna do another at 2A. What's the gun magazine company? 2A, right?
No, man, I am
Amen
spacing.
2.
Amen 2.
Amen
yeah,
2.
there you go.
They had a thing
Oh.
last year where he would sit there for like an hour and just draw on magazines and give them out for free.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh yeah, he drew a
No,
awesome.
Jacob won. Jacob
is it-
with the rectal use only, and it has like that gaping asshole on it. That one.
That's true, but you
I
had
have
the
a
Biden
Joe,
one.
You have a Joe Biden licking an ice cream cone on an
He's
AR-15.
like, "Come on, man.
Come on,
Come on,
man.
Jack.
It's a freaking. Oh, man,
I remember
it's gonna be
corn pop.
It's gonna be such a good time, man.
No, yeah.
And-
Next year.
Well, then we got
We got the NRA.
Well, yeah, there's NRAM. I'm not sure where it is this year.
Probably Texas. Wasn't it Texas last year?
It was Texas last
It
year.
was at Dallas last year.
So it'd probably be Indianapolis.
Indy
Dias.
again. Dias.
Dias.
What?
Dallas.
Oh,
Dias.
who says that?
Spanish people.
Oh, okay. Our brothers down south.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The new Americans. did I send you that I guess I put it in the Glizzy chat, the new map of America. It's like America, 51st state, Greenland is like Trump land. The Atlantic Ocean's called anti-Europe moat.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Mm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm.
Hey, how much clout would you get to getting shot at NRAM?
Why do we do that? Like, why do we? I know you have to have a city and like a large, easy airport access,
Sure.
lots of lodging, everything like that. But we need to have one of these massive shows. Just like, we need like a Burning Man of the industry. You know what I mean? Just go put it in BFE.
Well, they tried that with TriggerCon a couple of years ago. It didn't work out so well.
Where was that? Was that
Clash-
up at the
it's called
F&M or
Clash
something
Bash.
like that?
Yeah, it was way out east of
Yeah.
Wichita.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clash Bash. That's what they call it.
Well, I mean, that is true. Clash Bash.
We're coming up on second annual, right? This will be the second time they've been Clash Bash.
Oh no, this has been going on for like 5.
No, yeah. No, this is
Wild. Clay, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
2019, I think, was the first year.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was-
2019 was the
And
first
I was supposed to
year.
go
Feel bad
2020, and
about
then I
that.
actually got the COVID. Like,
Yep.
You got the
I got
vid.
like
He
the
got
one where it put
the
you
worst.
the worst one. Like,
Yeah.
it put you in not
like the
hospital, but-
lung and everything.
No, it was like,
your
it was like
lungs are
2
still
weeks gone of
damaged.
my life, dude.
Yeah. You almost got ventilated. Is that what you
No,
call it?
no.
Ventilated? Were they
Respirated.
First, I don't know. I just sat in a
ventilator? Yeah.
I
that's
sat in
what
a bed and played so much Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's
I don't
rad.
remember. Yeah,
What'd you
it
play?
was cool. I had a great time. Didn't have to go to
What
work.
game did you play?
A couple of them. I was really working on 100% in Chrono Trigger, and then did a playthrough of Earthbound, and I started one of Mario RPG, but I usually get bored about 3/4 of the way of that game because you just get like 2 items and get overpowered, and it's like cool. That was a fun game to play.
Link to the Past. Zelda Link to the Past.
I can't play that game anymore.
What?
Because I know how to beat it in like 2.5 minutes.
What?
So every time I start it, I just like accidentally beat it. I'm like, oh well, here we are again.
There we go.
It's like
I'm gonna have to look that strat up because
It's-
I've spent hours on that game.
there's when you're doing like the dungeon sequence, you go down, you pick up Zelda.
Mhm.
There's a place if you jump off a ledge and like save and quit, and then come back in, you can clip out of bounds, and then if you keep on walking up, it takes you straight to the title screen or the ending credits.
There you go. No
So
one's
it's
half the
glitch.
battle.
It's not like you
It actually hurts my soul. I didn't even know.
There's that's one of my other categories on YouTube is the Zelda speed running community.
Oh,
I
okay.
watch I probably
Is
watch about 3 hours a night watching guys play.
So this
Ocarina of
actually
Time.
brings up a really great conversation that I had over New Year's. Was I'll go around the horn.
Okay.
Jake, we'll start with you. What is the one game that you never beat that frustrated you, that you should have been able to beat, but you were never able to beat? I've got 3.
Oh, okay. Number 1 all time, and I've tried forever on Super Nintendo, UN Squadron. I have tried over and over and over. It's a jet fighter.
Yep. Shoot 'em up.
Yeah. And I've tried so many times over so many years, never beat it.
Yep.
And it's actually probably like one of 2 games I've never, ever beat. I usually beat video games. Never beat that one. And it does eat me alive.
Yep. What about you?
It's down to 2. One's like the gimme. It's Super Ghouls and Goblins because you have to beat it twice through. Because like the first time you beat it, it's like, oh, that was a dream. You actually beat it again. And that's kind of the gimme. But the one that really eats me alive is Silent Hill 2.
Ooh.
Oh.
And this is kind of like a creepy story, like how I never really believed in ghosts and the supernatural until a couple years ago, after a couple years of meeting my wife. But this was what kind of started opening up the possibility, like there's something fucking crazy going on out there. So when I was in 6th grade, we were living in Germany at the time, and we had the backside of our house. There was a street. There was like this about.
It's the seal. I heard it too. I was like, dude, did your kid play trumpet?
It's a refrigerator. Sorry, there's a really creepy noise. I'm talking about this. There was like this wooded area, and then the street next by the wooded, past that wooded area was the bus stop. So we had to go through this wooded area to go back and forth. And one day it was raining, so we were kind of jogging through this wooded area coming home from school, and I trip, and I like crash down, and I look up, and there's a PlayStation 2 disc in this German forest from Blockbuster.
What?
Whoa!
And I pick it up on a run home, and we get it and cleaned it off, and it was Silent Hill 2, like a U.S. Blockbuster.
That's crazy.
Stickered game.
Yeah.
And it was super glitchy because it was all scratched up, and there was like a lot of weird things that, the game's scary as is.
Yeah, dude.
And then on top of like the weird glitchiness from like having a scratched PS2 disc, super creepy game. And every time I start playing it, I played it. We played it a bunch as a kid. Just never beat it because one, we didn't know what we're doing, and then I tried playing it ever so often, but either the emulator I'm using just sucked, and I just kind of get bored with it and stop playing, or I think the last time I fully tried to sit down was a buddy of mine. We're going to sit down, him and I were going to drink beers and play it like once a week, and we did that once. So
there you go.
What's yours?
So mine, I have a couple different ones. Number 1, 2 of them are from the original NES. One game is called The Immortal.
Yep.
You're a wizard.
Yep. And it's like a weird Diablo kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
3D isometric. It's actually, if you guys played Nintendo, if you have the Switch, the Switch Online service has it.
Oh,
so
really?
You play it now.
Oh, man. I need to go back and see if I can beat it. It is the hardest thing. And there's like no instructions on how to play it. It's like the instruction booklet was like, press up to move forward, press down to move back, and that's it. There was like no instruction.
So it's like Pitfall-esque. It's just
it's do you ever play the Dark Souls games?
No, but I know of them.
It's essentially, it's like you just get dropped in, and it's like, here's how to move around.
Good luck.
Yeah. Don't know what I'm doing, but
yeah. You have a bag of spores, and you're like, okay, you can use this to fight the enemies, and you like throw these spores out, and it like, yeah, exactly. It's like all these spores like freaking mutate in this room and kill you too. It kills everything else in the room. It's great. You can throw it and then leave, but if you walk back into that room, you die. Right? It's like the weirdest thing ever. So I never figured out how to. I did get a code to like warp to the boss, which is a dragon. You have to fight this dragon, and it's kind of like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, where he winks right before he punches. So the dragon does something right before he blows fire, and you have to like vanish and then cast a spell to kill him. But we could never figure out how to do that. That was number 1. Number 2, again on the NES, Batman.
Okay.
That one I could never get to the Joker. I could get to the cathedral, but I could never get to him was the problem. And then the last one on Super NES was Star Fox.
Oh,
Star
really?
Fox was
Yeah.
a good one.
That
That
was
was
a
a
good
good one.
That one is, I don't know what it was about that
Well,
one.
What's so weird about that game is because that was super late in the Super Nintendo's development. Like the Super Nintendo's kind of at its end when they came out the Super FX chip for Star Fox. A lot of people haven't played it, but they played Star Fox 64. It's the exact same game. It's just one for the 64.
I was going to say one was 32-bit, one was 64-bit.
Yep,
That was
same,
the only difference.
Same game. So
Yeah.
if you beat Star Fox 64, essentially you've beaten Star Fox for the Super Nintendo.
But have you though?
No. I mean, no. It's a little more. It's like there's a couple things. Like I think a couple like some of the extra levels, like the tank levels and the submarine levels aren't in it. But
It's like saying if you beat Doom Eternal, you've beaten Doom, which is not true, dude. Doom was hard.
Yeah,
Doom was
is
hard
yeah.
for a while.
I never got into Doom. I played it a few times, and I was like, okay, this is kind of like Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm kind of done with that, you know.
That holds
And
a spot in my
that
heart.
was kind of like the break of video games until I played Halo.
Dude, could you imagine going from Star
Doom.
Fox to fucking Halo?
I mean,
dude?
that's
Like,
yeah. I mean, there was a few like spurts there here and there, especially like PC gaming with Ghost Recon.
yeah.
Oh,
The original
Yeah.
OG Ghost Recon, so
Yep.
it was really good. And then Call of Duty on PC when it first came out before it really hit, you know, Xbox and stuff like that. But that was really it, and I didn't really play very much. I was deployed a lot during that time too, and then it was the 2 years that I was transitioning from enlisted to officer and going to K-State. My roommate played Halo all the time, and he's like, "Dude, have you ever played this?" And I was like, "No." And
What
I
a
sat there and
G.
watched it,
No.
and he's like, "Man, I got all of them. I mean, where do you want to start?" And I was like, "Well, I guess we need to start with the first one."
Combat Evolved, baby.
So, and then I remember sitting down with my son and playing through Halo 2, and you get to that one spot where the Breaking Benjamin song comes on.
New Mombosa.
Oh man, freaking. And I was sitting there, we're playing, and that song comes on. I just like look at my son, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but this is freaking awesome.
But I'm lit right now, dude.
Well, so I grew up playing video games. Video games have been a big part of my life. Used to actually get paid to play Call of Duty 4, like back in high school. My biggest thing I'm stoked for is when my kids are old enough to start playing, and I'm giving them the Lion King for the Super Nintendo and just fuck their lives up. Because fuck that game. Like, oh, it's the Lion King. It should be fun. And then just watch them wallow in self-pity.
I hope my Super still runs by that time.
Nah,
It's like the memes that go around. It's what was the one thing that took your innocence when you were a kid, and they show the Lion King,
Yeah.
and then they're like, no, it was actually the Never-Ending Story with the Swamp of Sorrow.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Atax. He's trying to pull his freaking horse through the freaking bog, and I was like, oh my god, right in the feels, you know.
We did that today.
Pulling a horse through.
No, sorry. We weren't dragging horses. Lion King was on.
Yeah.
And our daughter had never actually watched it before, you know, because we've been watching Moana and Bluey. But it was on. So we were like, dude, Lion King for sure. You know, we'll bathe you in this right now. And it was the part.
Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
yeah. If you've never seen this movie from 1998, it was the part where Scar like threw Mufasa into the wildebeest, and she's been saying "oh no" a lot lately for anything, just like even dumb things. You know, like drop something. Oh no. Well, you know, Scar throws Mufasa off and he dies, and oh no. And I was like, this is tyranny, babe. This is what we've been trying to talk about the whole time. Like,
Let me show you the Tree of Liberty.
here come the hyenas from the Islamic countries. Like,
Oh, okay.
sorry. Jokey joke. Yeah, no. But yeah, that was the first time today. It's ironic we're here right now. 'Cause
Yeah, right.
That's what happened.
That's freaking awesome. Oh my goodness! All right, so we've covered video games, we've covered movies. I guess at this point we've covered
Mantis.
Little bit of work, yeah.
Mantis, some conspiracy
What
theories.
are we even at right now?
We're
Usually I
at-
can see the timer.
We're at hour 10.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Jeez,
Yeah,
dude.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time
we're-
flies when you're talking about Mufasa getting murdered.
Yeah. All right. So so let's transition. What's the biggest conspiracy theory that's on the top of your mind right now? Yeah, he's rubbing his face.
Okay, so we have to talk about roots. Like that's the thing. There should be a lot of eye-opening in the general public lately, in general, just for all sorts of things that have been happening.
Okay.
New Jersey
With the drones?
Tesla truck bombers.
Okay.
These are all kind of on the leading edge right now of possible eye-opening events. The number one for me always is 9/11.
Okay.
Always.
Which
And
part of it?
that's like my Roman Empire. It's always in my head when I think of like the roots of how it's connected to our current system and everything wrong with
But
it.
the funny thing about it is, okay, so there is a whole bunch of stuff surrounding 9/11 and stuff like that. But then you can like take a step back from that because that wasn't the first time the World Trade Center had been attacked.
No.
It was 97, 96?
Wasn't
So-
it was Osama bin Laden that bombed it too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If
Not himself, but
Right.
he planned it.
right, these things, all these parallels. This Tesla Cybertruck bomber, his ID and passports.
Survived.
survived.
Just like
Yeah.
how the passport
Exactly,
of the Saudi.
right?
Yeah.
We're like, we have a hijacker's passport from what?
Yeah.
From what?
Yeah.
Never mind the Desert Eagle that's barely recognizable.
Dude,
know?
I would never own one. That's a lie. I would
I'd
own
say-
one.
I'd say, yeah.
I would own one. I would.
Yeah,
I
Last
would.
Action Hero?
But
Come on
if
now.
I was gonna do it to myself and put up a spectacle, it would not be with a deagle, dude. Like I would.
No, it would have to be
But did you-
cheetah print, gold plated deal.
No.
Yeah, you got to go with.
If you're gonna be ridiculous, I get like the Louis Vuitton High Point,
There
or
you go.
you know what I mean? Like,
the $100 bill high point, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
If it and the nice thing about it is because you won't need a second shot because the mag already ejected when you pull the trigger.
So I've got a YC9 yeet cannon.
the yeet cannon.
Yeah, and every time I pull the trigger, the magazine drops out of it.
So you have to actually like teacup grip it to shoot it.
Yeah, yeah.
The proper grip.
Yeah, the proper
exactly.
hand
So,
grip.
but have you seen the video of like the zoomed in picture of the Tesla truck with the guy? Like you can
From
see
the
him-
driver's side.
Yeah, you can see him moving.
Yep.
Slightly, which I don't buy that because before the flames that you see from the explosion, there's going to be a shock wave which could move a inanimate object, right? A
Yeah.
body, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's that thing. But again, 9/11,
Yeah.
going back to and then mid 90s World Trade Center,
Right.
and then going back even further.
Gulf of Tonkin.
No.
Anybody?
Even sooner than that. True, yes, but Oklahoma City.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man,
Yep.
I've been.
And actually,
You know what's-
that ties in locally pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the where did I go do this from? Oh, I was at a training for interdiction stuff, and the guy, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol guy that caught Timothy McVeigh came and did like a guest speaking thing, and it was like the most like he told a story, and it just how he caught Timothy McVeigh, and it was like the most like, bro, you are a fucking plant from the CIA. Like you were put there to pull this guy over and detain him,
Yeah.
so he could be the fall man for.
I
Something
just
about
so
that
happened
U-Haul
to be
just didn't
on
sit right with
this
me that
particular
day.
intersection.
So his story essentially is like, he was working, like the I think 35 Highway 35 coming out of Oklahoma City, and he hears about the bombing, and he's like, everybody that was a law enforcement or first responders headed there. He's like, but I knew I needed to hold my post, so I stayed on 35, and all of a sudden he's like 20 minutes later, like there was no bulletin for a suspect vehicle or anything, and I saw a car drive by me with no license plate, so I stopped it.
of course,
And the
yeah.
guy had no license, like no nothing, and I thought it was suspicious, so we detained it for 24 hours. And I remember getting a call I did all this paperwork, and I get the call from like the next, like overnight saying, "Hey, we identify your driver as Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber." You're like, dude, you ever see the movie Shooter?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah.
He is that fat cop. They're like, oh yeah, we just have this cop hanging out with us to watch this whole thing happen.
Yeah.
And then Mark Wahlberg's no, they're gonna shoot him. He turns around and gets shot by the cop. Like,
Officer, you're unsnapped.
that was that dude. You're just like, wow. Like, I never really believed it. Like, until I heard that guy's story, I'm like, okay, I need to do a little bit of digging around. You wrote like 2 books about it too.
Yeah, and
Really?
the thing about the Oklahoma City situation is that I never knew that they never admitted any of the CCTV footage into the trial.
They
And
didn't.
They did
that.
not. There's a John Doe number 2
I
that
knew
like
that.
something like 30 people talked about, and that person never materialized.
Even seemingly on like a news report,
There
they
was
had talked
a-
about a second person, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a phone call into like Secret Service or FBI headquarters 30 minutes before the bombing, saying that the bomb went off prior to the bomb going off. Like an hour before the bomb goes off, there's a bomb squad truck across the street. There's all of these like material engineers. It's like there's no possible way that this Ryder truck could have caused this damage. There's footage of other people saying that there's another bomb that they got to clear out during the whole chaos and everything. What was one of the other big things? There's tons of evidence that was never released for Timothy McVeigh until like right up to the point where he was getting ready to get executed. So they tried to stay his execution to give him a new trial, but then they executed him like 3 days later or something like that. I'm just like, holy cow. How does this is like that. So if 9/11's your thing, OKC is now
OKC's yours.
mine.
Yeah.
Because I still remember that day, right? Because my parents, my dad and my stepmom, had really good friends that lived in Oklahoma City. They owned a bed and breakfast, and the windows in their bed and breakfast were shattered because of the
Thanks,
explosion.
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, I know, right?
What a dick, dude.
So, who served
At Junction City, or at Fort Riley.
Fort Riley,
Yeah.
116 Infantry.
Yep.
There's footage of him. He supposedly he got out in 91, but there's footage of him at some camp doing some maintenance on a M113 or a Bradley from 1993, you know, and there's testimony says that he was still in the military at the time, you know, all of these different weird things, man.
Wasn't the Ryder truck rented in like Abilene or something like that?
I thought it was Junction City.
Was it JC?
It was
Yeah.
somewhere near here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if not Junction City, definitely Abilene. Yeah.
So
But so that is my big thing right now. And then there's Building 7.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna just like derail this, but bring it back as well.
Okay.
Back to video games. Red Alert 2 came out like in 2000.
Was that Command and Conquer?
Yeah, Command & Conquer Red Alert.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yep.
exactly when it came out. But it was either shortly before or shortly after 9/11. But they're like the second mission on like the Soviet side, you blow up the World Trade Center.
No.
And I remember being a kid playing that game, and I played the Allies. Like, cool, I'm gonna play the Russian side now. Mission 2, like that happened. I thought like my mom was gonna fucking murder me. Like she wasn't in the room or anything. I was just like, this is the most unpatriotic thing I need.
They're going to find out.
Yeah, so it's like I remember playing and you start the missions like blow up the World Trade Center. I'm like, okay, we're done with this game. That was fun. This is a ton of fun game.
Well,
That's
It's like that the demonic thought processing of like they have to tell you about it before they can do it.
Yeah.
You know, have you heard that?
yeah. The was it? They were talking about that a bunch during like this whole election cycle, especially like the summertime when they came out the movie Civil War,
Right.
And it's like you just get you comfortable with the notion that
Yep.
like
This is coming.
this is coming.
Yeah. Well, and then they had the new DoD directive that came out in August
Yeah.
or whatever. What from your standpoint, since you're plugged into that, what is your take on it?
So that DoD, my understanding of it is it's saying it wasn't directly for like the military. It was for like intelligence agencies.
Are we talking about the authorization of force against?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And it was mainly for like not. It's not saying the U.S. Army or the military. It's the intelligence services that are already doing these ISR campaigns. Can have now access. Like the FBI and CIA are doing that stuff already. Now can use those drones or whatever for.
This is an expansion of the Patriot Act.
No, I don't think so. It's just more of it.
I could argue I could argue that yes, but no.
I mean, everything is expanded. Like
Of
anything
course,
right.
that has to do
Yeah.
with any sort of intelligence gathering,
Domestically, especially.
domestic intelligence gathering is an extension of the Patriot Act. But now it's one of those. Like, I read it and I was like, this says a whole lot of nothing, and people are getting mad about it. So
I mean, it's a point now that I would really love to live in precedented times, because it seems like every single week and almost every single day we are now in unprecedented times. Something.
Hey, but January 6th passed. They certified the election. And everything was okay.
Well, I mean, true.
Allegedly, I mean,
Allegedly, I don't know,
Dude, I was so sidetracked by the blizzard. By the time I looked yesterday, they're like, today's January 6th, and we're remembering. I was like, I completely forgot, actually, dude.
Yesterday, when I was at the airport, I turned around and looked at the TV, and they had a flag draped coffin, and I was like, oh, right, Carter. Yeah. Forgot all about that.
I saw on my calendar.
You're talking about January 6th. I was like,
what? Ashley Babbitt, yeah.
Oh,
The one death.
The Air Force hero we all needed. She was Air Force, right?
Yeah, Air Force.
Yeah.
I completely forgot Carter died too until I saw my calendar. I was like, "What's this? This random holiday popped up on my Google calendar. It's like the National Remembrance Day for Jimmy Carter. This Friday, by the way. It's like he died like 2 weeks ago, guys. Like, what are we?
Well, apparently, I think his funeral, as we're recording this, his funeral's tomorrow. Nan, she's like off work tomorrow.
Yeah,
she's still
everything federal shutdown.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
she's still actually going to go in because she gets paid time and a half or double time.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So, but good for her. But I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the thing, that if a president dies, you get the day off.
Just that one.
Just that one.
Just that one.
The good old peanut farmer means a lot to us.
And it's so funny. It's so funny because Nan and I go back and forth about this all the time. She's like, I'll make a comment about Jimmy Carter, and she's like, he was a good man. And I was like, okay, well, hate to break this to you, but good men are not leaders, So
I think that's fair.
It is fair.
I mean,
it's a hard truth, right? If you look at it, look at every single president that we've had, like all the way back to freaking like FDR, or even before then, right? I mean, you look at Eisenhower, theoretically was a slapped his wife around, right? You got JFK that slept around with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, but I mean Marilyn Monroe, dude.
Yeah, you got LBJ was a known racist. You had Nixon, who was a crook, right? You had Ford, had no idea what he was doing. Carter, he freaking couldn't negotiate himself out of a wet paper bag.
Yep.
Freaking Reagan dropped a whole bunch of cocaine in the inner cities. Freaking Bush, H.W. Bush, freaking war crimes. You got Clinton.
You're starting to make me wonder here.
I mean, you see all of these different leaders, every single one of the people that we think is good. I mean, I honestly think the last great president, and this is probably going to confuse a lot of people, I think one of the last great presidents that we've had is JFK. Because he was the dude that...
No, that's not confusing at all.
No,
that makes...
it's not confusing. It's just... There's been better since.
You think?
Yeah, Donald Trump, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah,
Come on now.
That's completely fair.
No, I'm talking about...
What about between Trump and JFK?
Oh, JFK. For me, it's JFK.
Right? Like anybody else?
because JFK was willing and died trying to dismantle the intelligence apparatus. Right
And who is president?
Trump went to North Korea without a hand of peace, without like any military force or anything like that. Went straight over there by himself.
But that's the thing. That's what JFK was trying to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
JFK, once he found out how many U.S. military personnel had died in Vietnam, he said, pull them out.
Yep.
He wants them out. He doesn't want any of that type of stuff, which is exactly what Donald Trump was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
JFK ended up dying for it. But the point that I'm trying to get
Trump
at...
almost died twice for it.
No, that's true. That's true.
I mean, kind of.
But one of the things that
he
I would say
actually
about
survived his headshot.
JFK, again, was a flawed individual.
Yeah,
for sure.
Donald Trump is a flawed individual as well, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at.
I think when you talk about in a broad paint stroke spectrum of not all leaders can't be good men. I think if you're talking about presidents, probably. I think part of being a good man is being a leader, and I think if you take it if you take the presidents that we've had in the past, take it 100, 150 years, they weren't great. They were good men. They were great men, but they were leaders, and they also have character flaws. Just like we all have character flaws.
Of course,
not me,
yeah.
of course.
No,
I
get that, right? Yeah, we all have character flaws, but I'm talking within the last 100 years.
Always. I think if you're a Christian man at all, you understand that we're all sinners.
Yeah.
And once you get put into, and if you're a good Christian, you have some type of leadership ability built into you. Not built in, but certainly an acquired skill set.
Of course.
I think magnified to the maximum level, which is our presidency. And yes, there's some debate there as well, especially with our current sitting president. But you get someone like Trump in there, or even JFK, where your sins are magnified to the maximum level possible, then yes, there is absolutely clarity and complete transparency on your sins. And I think that they get magnified to a maximum level.
Yeah.
But granted, to be in that political game, you have you're using the term "good person's" not the greatest example I want to use, but usually, as especially recently, they're people that have had a somewhat shaded past, and they're in their late 60s, early 70s, trying to now
Close
be
to 80.
almost 80s, trying to be the leader of the free world, trying to say I am now a righteous person. Yeah, you're gonna have skeletons in your closet, dude. I mean, if you look at if you take the majority of the population, most guys in their 20s and 30s are not the most best versions of themselves, and then
that's what's crazy is because moving forward, I mean, the next probably, I would say in the next probably 10 years, we're going to have a president that has had probably multiple divorces,
and that's pretty common for the U.S. now.
Right.
It is. I mean,
you scale it back one generation, which is what we're looking for. I mean,
Trump
boomers are done after Trump is done.
Yeah.
There's no more of that.
Yeah, I think Trump is the last, or I think Trump is the first president to have a divorce, have multiple divorces.
Multiple. Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Biden, he was widowed, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah,
that's true.
I say.
Yeah. Barack Obama and Michelle, they've been together.
Oh, she's a dude.
His name's Michael.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but if you just start going back, right?
By the way, this is probably going to get
this is probably going to
get
taken
us banned
down
in France now.
We're already screwed, dude. We're already screwed.
That happened. It was Candace Owens. She was saying that, and France started going after them pretty hard, like the Daily Wire.
Oh, really?
For saying that Michelle Obama was a dude.
Oh, really?
Oh no,
I don't know.
Thought you were talking about
Macron. Macron's wife.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's why I was like, wait, I'm saying something that doesn't make sense.
That chick's totally a dude.
Macron's wife?
Yeah, dude. 100%. 100%.
Well,
That's one's worth a Google for sure.
Okay, well let's pull it up. Yeah. I don't know. There was something else. Someone was saying something about Princess Diana, as well.
Oh yeah,
so.
it's if you look at I saw this on like I think Instagram or something the other day where it's like if you look at the Princess her son was
William.
Yeah. And it's like if you look at the
Oh.
dad and then you look at the
And the
horse
horse
trainer,
trainer?
the horse
right.
trainer,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, she was
Yeah.
fucking around.
Yeah. Okay.
Who
I
taught
see.
who how to ride? Yeah.
Freaking Margaret or Bridget Macron.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Badger. Yep.
Badger, mushroom. For everybody that is older than like probably like 30 now, is just lock that in there or unlocked that deep.
You
Wow,
need
I'm trying to think of that word.
You need a Control-Alt-Delete there. You
Yeah,
need a
no,
factory reset.
Yeah, just pull that out of your memory bank. The badger mushroom.
That I've never
you
heard of
don't?
it.
Oh,
I've
I
never
thought-
heard of that.
Okay,
It tickles something, but I don't know why.
There was it was one of those like old school Flash E-Bombs Worlds things where it's just
E-Bombs World.
for
Good
like,
job.
you
Good
turn
job.
it on and for like 10 hours later still be playing this badger mushroom badger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like the Space Kitty
Nyan cat.
with the what?
Nyan cat. I
Is
know
that
you're
what
talking
it
about.
was?
Yeah, it's called Nyan
They
cat.
had the like the
The
freaking-
Pop-Tart cat.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
rainbow
but
cat.
like for our generation.
Yeah.
How old is Nyan Cat?
I don't know.
5-10 years?
Oh no, it's older than that.
No way,
man.
really?
Yeah, it's probably.
This is 2025 now.
Yeah, we're at 2025, man.
15 years is 2010.
I saw something. What was it?
125 years ago is 1900.
I'm pretty sure
That's
I saw
what
something
really
that was
blew
like
my mind.
how far that night or that 70s show was filmed during the 90s
Mhm.
is closer to the 70s than we are to when that 90s show or when that 70s show was filmed.
Yeah.
Well, the other one, the other one, crazy one I heard was Joe Biden. The distance between distance between him being born and now is greater than the distance between him and the end of Civil War.
Ooh,
Oh.
that hurts.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow. Well, and you know, it's so odd
I
because
really fucked up that phrase.
Dude, my grandma told me the
I got
other day
what you're saying. Yeah, but
she was alive when the microwave was invented. And I was like,
your grandmother,
yeah.
get this. My grandfather was born in 1902.
02.
1902. Of course, I was kind of born a little later than most kids for my parents' generation. But even still, and then on top of that, my mother was born very late as well. I think her mother was like 40 when she was born in 1942.
Nice.
So there is a time gap for me, you know, because when I was growing up, I was watching Are You Being Served? Like old British comedies from like the 1960s. That's what I grew up on, and weird stuff like that, right? So you guys were probably watching
MASH and Deep Space
Gilligan's
Nine.
Island.
yeah.
That was like my earliest memories.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wasn't
You said Gilligan's Island, but I immediately went to Gullah Gullah Island.
Gullah Gullah.
that's all I was like. Gullah Gullah Island. This is jamming out over here.
Is it Gilligan's Island or Gilligan's Isle?
I don't know. I to be honest,
It's a 3-hour tour.
I could say I probably never seen a single episode of that show.
Really?
Yeah, I know generally the premise, but I don't think I've ever sat down and watched an episode of that show.
To be fair, that's some of my earliest memories. I was maybe like 6 or 7.
Now, granted,
but it's still burned in.
I've seen MASH so many fucking times.
MASH was a banger.
Oh yeah, what's really
How old were you when you realized it wasn't Vietnam?
I always knew it was Korea.
Korean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't it Korean?
I was probably in my teenage years before I realized it was Korea.
The depressing one is though, for those listening at home, if you have the DVD versions of MASH, you can turn the laugh track off. It gets really depressing really fucking quick. Like if you turn the laugh track off, it's super sad.
It's a different show.
It hits differently. Speaking of laugh track,
Dark humor makes sense then.
so when my first daughter was born, we watched all of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Kind of during
Good show.
good show. Ended shittily, but
Yeah.
I will say that I have never seen an episode of that.
Oh, it's a good one.
that's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's kind of like the Friends of our generation, I would
Sure.
say.
Yeah.
And we were listening to this time, and about like 5 episodes in, we were like, "There's a fucking laugh track in this thing." This thing came out, probably 2011, 12 ish.
I was gonna go a little bit earlier. I was thinking like 9 or 10, but yeah.
Well, it was 7 seasons, so yeah, it's probably like 9 or 10 because then it ended about 13.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
Yeah, it's not a laugh track going on.
none.
No, it does
Yeah.
have a laugh track.
Oh, it does.
It's like it really jars you now that you watching a show and you're like, oh fuck, there's a laugh track.
Yeah, because it's filmed before a live studio.
No, this one
audience.
wasn't. No,
I
this
know.
one- like Friends
I
was. Like Friends
but
was. So
Cheers.
Cheers. Yep.
Cheers. Oh man, I would have loved to have been in the audience for that. That would have been a good time. Have you guys heard the conspiracy that Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are like brothers?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy that
I would almost buy that.
yeah, because they share the same father or something like that.
What?
Yeah,
Was it? Who was I talking with about
Wow.
My Chemical Romance and Joe Rogan?
Oh.
Yeah.
well, My
what-
Chemical Romance came about because of 9/11.
Yep.
I knew that.
Because that was one of my little favorite trivia. It's like the reason why Twilight exists in
Yes.
our timeline is because of 9/11.
And then the reason why My Chemical Romance exists is because of Twilight.
No,
Because
so
of
9/11 happens.
Gerard
Way gets upset about it,
Yeah.
writes a bunch of sad songs about it,
Oh, okay.
becomes My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
Stephanie Meyer starts doing fan fiction
because of My Chemical Romance.
because of My
yeah.
Chemical
Okay, there
Romance.
we go.
Gets
There we go.
popular and it writes the book Twilight.
Mhm.
Edward in that book is Gerard Way
Gerard Way,
from
yep.
My Chemical Romance. And so, yeah.
And then they make the worst movies of all time.
We're so
then,
screwed.
then yeah,
We're
so
so
9/11 is
screwed.
directly responsible for Twilight in this timeline.
Yeah. Thank you,
Um,
George Bush.
But Gerard Way's, I think, related to Joe Rogan. I think they're cousins.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that the other day
That's
when I was
a
looking.
fun one.
Yeah,
I
it's
like that.
Yeah, little conspiracy theory there.
Yeah. Well, it's not really conspiracy. They're related.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, that brings up a good subject, though. What's your coolest? Because before we started recording, I was asking you about your signatures and, like,
Oh, right, yeah.
being a mediophile and, like,
So,
cool.
For those
famous.
of you listening, the reason why he's asking is because in the basement we have tons of pictures of autographs. There's a random
Donnie,
Tupac.
you know,
Like that was
Picture-
printed. It looks like from like
Yeah, no, that is.
printer
It's-
paper.
That
It's the
is
Obama hope.
That is
The-
Nan is a huge Tupac fan, which okay.
might be one of the oldest psyops in time.
Before
we get too far away.
Yeah, that's it. So, but we got some John Bernthal, we got some William Shatner, we've got the band Dury, we got their set list with all of their autographs. Nan's a huge New Kids on the Block fan, so she's got tons of that stuff. They've got 2 pictures there that are Modern Family. Picture has all of the signatures, and then an actual script from one of the episodes is signed by the entire. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
So what's your best or most famous, like, close interaction? Like, not a story about, like, I met so-and-so and we did this, but, like, how it's in your life, attached to your life. Like, what's the closest thing for you?
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, the biggest thing for me is being, like, attached to Ozfest, but not the Ozfest, not like the Ozzy Osbourne Ozfest, if that makes sense, right?
So I was going to ask, are we talking about the Yellow Brick Road or are we talking about Ozzy? Where are we at
Exactly,
here?
right. So
Are we eating bats or killing witches?
exactly, right. In Wichita, T95 is the rock station down
Okay.
there, right?
All right.
And they always had the OZ Fest, Ozfest. Ozzy Osbourne has the OZZ Fest, right? So there's 2 different ones. The Ozfest in Wichita has all the headlining shows come in, and then there's a whole bunch of regional stuff come in as well. I ended up at the time I was in a band and played on the main stage at that
What did you play?
guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
What was the name of your band? We're not going to derail too far because I'm
No.
gonna tailgate on this.
That's fine. Structure was the name.
Ooh,
With a
I
K?
like that.
What's that?
with a K.
No.
Oh,
no.
That's kind of sick. Though,
Yeah.
too.
That's
I
like-
like that.
Yeah. But God damn.
And like the Cyrillic R structure. You know?
But because of that whole ordeal, I was able to kind of interact with a group called Course of Empire, which is a band out of Texas that ended up being showcased on the soundtrack of Dark City that had Kiefer Sutherland. in it,
Sick.
you know,
I like
So
that. I'm a
that-
big Kiefer fan.
that that kind of 7-layer of separation of Kevin Bacon or whatever. That whole thing was really, really cool at that time, right? As far as like meeting someone famous, John Bernthal, we
JB
talked.
for sure.
Yeah, we talked about that already. That was really cool experience, and just that was at a convention. It was kind of forced, but he still was one of, like we said, one of those genuine guys that made me feel like I was the only person there, you
Right.
know. So that was something really, really cool. That's my stories. So
I like that.
what about you?
Okay. So my claim to closeness of the stars is Sean Covell, and he was the producer for Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
oh.
All right. So small pop culture reference.
Give me some of your tots.
But, dude, exactly. Okay. His mom was my English teacher all the way through high school, and I graduated with 12 people. So, I mean, tiny town,
Tiny,
right?
yeah.
This is where he's from. And that's like half the inspiration for him writing, the tiny Iowa
Oh,
dink around
right. Yeah,
town
yeah, yeah.
was the whole thing.
I bet I could throw this football over that mountain. over
Yeah,
there.
and that came out while I was in high school. So I was going to a Methodist church at the time as a kid in high school, and we had a puppet play for Christmas Eve. And I had the funny old man in this puppet play, and it was, Sean Covell was in town, so everyone was like amped up about it because freaking Napoleon Dynamite. And so anyway, I do this puppet play. He laughs about it and like signs my DVD of Napoleon Dynamite. And everybody in town constantly talked about it because Mrs. Covell's son, who also graduated from the same high school, was big on it. So like that was our huge thing forever, was Napoleon Dynamite. Then it kind of matured a little bit from there. My little sister did an opening speech, who did the graduation commencement her senior year. She's 6 years younger than I am. At the time, Sean Covell was married to Alexa Vega, who is the female child lead from the Spy Kids series.
Oh,
So it
right.
was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this whole, and then they all came out to our ranch to ride horses and all these things. So it was like this big, Well, I knew the guy who wrote and produced Napoleon Dynamite, and like his wife was Spy Kids, so it was a big thing. That was like our biggest thing.
One-
Was it Shark Girl or Shark Boy?
Yeah,
and
dude.
Buckhead?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One of the funny things from Napoleon Dynamite is the scene where Uncle
Rico.
Yeah, Uncle Rico. He takes that steak and
And
throws it at Napoleon Dynamite. That was totally unscripted. They're like, I bet I can hit him, and he picks it up and he just flings it. And it actually hits him, and that whole scene is completely unscripted.
That's
and
legit.
it, like live, And so his reaction to being hit in the face with the steak, it was exactly. So, all right,
I can't believe a movie like that catapulted people like John Heder. Like
I know.
that's nuts. Blades of Glory. That's because of Napoleon. While we're
Yeah.
talking about timelines and how
Yeah.
things were built.
yeah. What about you, Hefe?
Yeah, you got anything?
I got nothing cool. It's like the one time I met Sam Kershaw, and then
You met Jack Carr.
No
yeah,
way.
That was at a book signing. That's like forced. That's pretty forced.
Yeah, sure.
Like
Still
I paid money.
legit,
I
though.
paid money, and
Caleb.
yeah, Kale. I mean, this show has been good to meeting somewhat famous people for our community. I think the only outside of maintenance, Sammy Kershaw when he offered me cocaine in his tour bus.
Wild.
Okay, that's that. Pause.
this on
and
duty?
it's so the Wareham down here used to play a lot of country music stuff,
Okay.
and I used to work security there. So
Okay.
like we'd also help unload and do a bunch of stuff. And after he played a show here, it was really random that he played a show here. He was super. He was a dick before the show, really nice after the show, and then we were loading up his tour bus, and he offered us to come in his bus, and we kind of looked around. He's like, "You guys need anything? I got like soda, beer, there's some weed, that bowl's cocaine." I'm like, "No, thank you, Mr. Kershaw.
Wow.
I need to go home." And then
I need to go.
This will take you home, boy.
yes. And then I guess outside of that, I'm like loosely related to Doug Burgum,
Okay.
the guy who ran for president.
No.
Bergman.
Nope.
Yeah, Doug Bergman.
I don't know. I don't.
Is that the guy that was like, Pya!
No, that was no. My dad's. It's like my dad's cousin is married to him.
Okay.
I've never met the dude, but we have a lot of Bergman stickers everywhere.
I don't know who that is.
He ran for president.
When?
This last go round.
Oh,
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't know.
Yeah, he ran
Rad.
for
Definitely
president.
don't know.
Super proud of him.
And he was
Period.
allegedly one of the top 3 people to be named as vice president. So
Top, probably number 3.
probably number 3, yes.
Probably
but
number
it was
3.
it's just one of
I'd
those
be
like weird
stoked to be like second or third place behind JD.
I mean,
dude. I would be
It's
proud
like
of that.
JD,
stat.
Vivek, and then this guy probably. So it was
Oh,
just,
okay.
I'd be stoked on that.
it's just one of those like my dad's beer fridge has like 6 of his presidential stickers on it. He's like, I know they sent a bunch of it to us, and
I don't know what to do
It's-
with them.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
so we put it on the beer fridge. So it's just fun. Like
That's good.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
I think those are good
no,
ones.
I got nothing cool.
I think those are good ones.
I mean,
I
the
try,
big,
like the one thing I've especially doing this is meeting the people that you used to idolize. It really ruins it. So you stop idolizing people.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah.
Never meet your hero.
Never meet your hero.
Yep.
Just they're all human beings. Like I know we kind of joked offline about one of your yeah, Mr. Jones, and like nothing's gonna happen of it. Like it's all said and done. And he still is gonna rake in millions of dollars of being who he is. Just
And there's probably a large segment of his viewership that has no idea that this stuff is going
oh yeah,
on.
this is a very niche thing that if you weren't on Instagram or X, you would have zero idea. It's like, oh, Micah left. That's weird. Anyways,
Yeah.
Dude,
Micah
I was so all right. I can't get too deep here.
Yeah, that's fine.
online.
I was nervous. I was nervous
Uh-huh.
because like our company embodies specific values, and the ownership are 3 brothers who have very specific ways of
Yeah.
wanting to accomplish things. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, he had done so much just in terms of bringing awareness, not education on what we do, none of that thing, just bringing awareness. That like as soon as I saw that, I was like,
Mantis turning
Yeah.
a gun into a drone fighting
not
machine.
good, dude.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
good.
Not good. No.
But yeah, it seems like just dropped a few people, rolled on past it. Nobody said anything, and here we are.
Unfortunately, there's a couple people in that space that it's just too big to fail.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
exactly.
one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like outside of maybe like killing somebody, like killing a stripper,
Yeah.
like, in Vegas, like
Unless he like comes out and just is like, hey guys, that's it. Or
Yeah.
does the Paul Harrell and gets cancer
Right.
and passes away.
R.I.P. baby.
well, and it's like, the easiest way to like just exemplify this is look at Terran Tactical. That guy is
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
that guy is like if you go to SHOT Show, like,
you
if
get the HIV just by looking at
yeah,
him.
it's just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
But everyone still idolizes him for some reason.
I didn't even know that happened until what was in Tennessee? Goals. Until
Oh, yeah.
goals. I didn't know.
Just like this
Yeah, literally just this last year. I had no
Wow.
idea.
Okay.
I had no idea. And I was always like, I'm a huge Linda Turnbull fan.
Yeah.
Just like as an actual fan, she's a fantastic shooter, awesome human being, obviously attractive. But I mean, like, that's not the point. The
Right.
thing is she's rad, you know? And I was stoked to meet her last year at SHOT. And I was like, dude, John Wick, obviously love John Wick, right? So I was like, dude, Terran Tactical's sick. They make cool, like, collaborations. They've got great shooters. All these Hollywood people have been trained, which, like, you know, knock, knock, wake up on that one, right? And we were coming back from goals, and one of my buddies is like, I got a TTI combat shirt at goals, just like a free swag from Canic.
Yeah.
And I was like wearing it on the way home. I was like, dude, this is sick. You know, my dad has a TP9. Like, this is cool, you know? And then my buddy's like, dude, you realize, like, what he's done, right? I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
Kill a guy for having attractive women shoot for him. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know who Jade Struck is? I was like, yeah, I've met Jade Struck. Like, of course I know who she is. He's like, did you see what happened? I was like, no idea. Had no idea. And then we went through this rabbit hole that took us an hour of the trip on the way home. And I was like, oh my God, dude. I had no idea.
Just go to, if you have an opportunity this year, go to the guns.com party.
Oh, yes.
He's there every year.
Really?
Yes.
He's there every
We were
year.
in the same
elevator with Terran Tactical and 4 of his ladies.
Yeah.
And it was
And some weird, like he, one other, like, dude that was in a Canadian tuxedo. I mean, he's like denim on denim, you know?
Rad.
First of all, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of denim on denim.
Hefe's literally wearing it right now. Blue on blue. Let's go.
I really pissed my stepsister off for Christmas photos. I had a pair of blue jeans, I had a poncho denim shirt, and then this jacket, and like some of our Christmas photos.
Dude, fat respect. I like it a lot.
It's
Denim's a very good material, dude.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
But no, it was just it's
very
it's gross.
awkward.
It's
It was
just
very
gross, man.
awkward.
Like 90% of the reason I go to the guns.com party is to maybe talk with Caleb for a little bit and watch Taryn just dance.
Sweep the room,
Oh,
baby.
yeah. There is so many different people. There's so many different personalities there. And it is. There's always someone showing up dressed up some weird way, you know, like coming in with a babushka, you know, or whatever.
While wearing a kilt.
Oh yeah, you know,
Ushanka is the term.
Yashanka. Okay, thank you. What am I say? What did I say? Babushka.
babushka.
What was that?
Isn't that grandma?
Grandma.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Just
Babushka's
grandma?
grandma.
Yeah, for sure it's grandma.
I thought that was,
Ushanka is the hat.
Ushanka.
I thought
You're talking the tall, fuzzy, rah,
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought babushka was like just a headdress.
That's
type
grandma,
of thing.
isn't it?
Grandma's babushka.
Okay, I'll take your word. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty
that's what
sure.
Anyway,
I took
not-
Cyrillics at EOD school.
guns.com party.
Wild.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything
See,
from that as yet. But
In my infancy in the industry, there are these things I'm getting tickles of. Is like the guns.com party. You know, going to Hawks Works last year with all the RPZ jugs and Night Vision beer pong and midget wrestling. I was like, wow, dude.
We haven't been dogs yet, but
no, but I'm on a group DM on X, and every single person in that group who's going to SHOT is going to the cry party.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, so how do y'all do that? I don't
Because I'm in this
guess
group,
not
I gotta
cool
go,
enough.
right?
Yeah,
You know?
I'm not cool enough, I guess.
Vilstralka, like that Swedish clothing tactical coat.
Oh, yeah.
Also, apparently hosts like a fucking rager as well.
Oh yeah.
But-
So we usually keep it pretty low key, you know.
We go to Hofbrau House. That's like
Hofbrau.
that's our big.
That's the good stuff, dude.
Yeah, that's we.
Ski shots, you
But
know?
see,
Or what are they
that's
called?
that's the other thing too. Is I brought up in this group DM that I'm a part of. There's
Yep.
like, hey, we need to get together. Let's get together Thursday night. You know, where's a good place? And I was like, Hofbrau House is always a great place. And someone jumped in there. He's pretty prominent. I'm not exactly sure who he is, but he was like, nothing good ever comes from the Hofbrau House. I'm like,
Lies.
I mean,
Dude,
what?
lies, pretzels, good beers, ski shots.
wieners.
Yeah, Venus.
Yeah.
we
They're
had, like, the
around.
Tower of Wieners last time. We always show up there, and there's always like a because last time we could get there like Thursday. What day would we usually get there? Like
It was usually either
Sunday,
Monday or
right?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday
Okay,
night. There's
right.
always a party in the back room for
Oh
shot.
yeah. Well, the last few years it was like FPC.
Yeah, FPC was having their party at Hofbrau House.
That's
and-
dope.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the back. So what we would do is we'd sit down and eat, and then we'd sneak and just like walk in there,
Dude.
and there's like, oh hey, I know you, I know you, that type of thing.
That's my favorite. Like the mingling. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
See,
The touch of the industry is the networking.
and that's
for
the
sure.
thing that's the thing that Nan has never experienced. This is going to be her first time going, so she's going to experience Sugar Cane, because Sugar Cane Restaurant Global Ordnance is doing their reception again, so I got invited to that, and I added
Dude,
everybody.
I'm super tight homies with Jordan Spradley.
Okay.
We should totally do that.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be fun.
I'll send you. I'll see if I can forward the email to you.
Can't believe I just threw your name out there, Jordan. If you hear this, that was all for you, buddy.
It's so smoker's cough now because of this freaking respiratory infection I got. But and then Circle Bar.
Oh yeah,
She has no idea about Circle Bar.
Circle Balls is that's like
That's
standing
oh,
tradition,
man,
Oof.
that's
and it's a nightmare.
It's always
I'm gonna be
just-
dead
you
honest
know
with
what?
you.
I'm going
super
to say
cool
this:
people, but-
Circle Bar is always a disappointment. There's like one, like the first year was fun, where we ran to Chris Costa again,
Right.
who was nearly dead.
Yeah.
That dude.
But still knew who
Still
we
rad,
were.
though.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah,
He knew
yeah,
who
Yeah,
we were.
he knew exactly who we were.
He's like,
that
oh, you
was
took
crazy.
that class with me like 2 years ago. It really rained.
Yeah, it was really wet.
That's
Chris,
Sorry, yeah.
like, say
Dope.
what you want about Chris
Dope.
Costa. If you take one of his classes, he will remember you like 6 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ran into like that guy who told us he makes machine guns out in Florida to come out, and
He was.
no
Wasn't
idea
he,
who that was.
Wasn't he connected with
No
like
idea who that was.
Brandon Herrera?
Yeah, it was like loosely based with Brandon.
Yeah, and
Brandon
then like Brandon brought over Donut Operator,
oh yeah.
who was just like Blackout Drive.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's done.
He was having a good time.
He seems like one of those guys, dude. You know.
So-
yeah, no.
That's
donuts,
like the only-
donuts cool.
I think that's the only like success we ever had at Circle Bar. Every
Yeah.
time we go there, it's just the massive amount of just random people. And we're random people too, so it's
Right.
not, we're not.
Well,
That's what it is, though.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
you know.
And typically, what it is, it's like, okay, meet at the Circle Bar because everybody knows where the Circle Bar is at. Meet there at whatever time, and then we go from there.
Yep.
Right. So you go there, you meet up. Usually, someone's always waiting on somebody else, or you're having a couple of drinks, and then you end up going someplace else.
Right.
You know. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's something, man. I just keep on getting hyped up about it.
Dude, 2025 is gonna be a good year, I think.
Hefe, I'm sorry
it
you
is.
can't go.
I-
but
No,
I-
no,
I
no,
know.
I'm
it'll
not
be
worried
good.
about
It'll
it.
be good.
'Cause this is my thing with SHOT Show right now. The best way I'm going to describe it, I think, is the industry is like at this weird lull point where like no one's coming out with anything cool. It's
Except for P90 AR.
it's
you know.
all of it's like weird accessories for stuff that's already out. Nothing new. Like there's nothing new and innovative. Glock's probably going to announce like a Gen 6, maybe. I don't know.
We
everyone's-
say that every single year.
Mhm.
We say that every single year, and there's something that always comes up.
Last year was the year of the lever action, so I'm calling this year is going to be the year of shotguns. Everyone's going to come out with some like weird shotgun stuff because shotguns have been after the Beretta, the
Dude,
the
Turkey's
Benelli-
been working hard too. You
yeah,
know?
like
yeah.
was it Stag Arms with the Panzer?
Yep.
Not Stag Arms, the Panzer Arms.
With their M4 clone.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
Mhm.
there's gonna be a ton of like really nice M4 clones. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff with the A300 and the 1301.
The dudes out of Lawrence who are making the AR platform. Come on. They bought them from Turkey. This is new.
No, I don't know. if
Free
that
State. Free State.
Oh, Free
Free
State,
State,
Army.
yeah.
Yep. mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've been pushing it really hard this
Yeah.
year.
Well, I mean, PSA last year, had
Mhm.
prototypes for shotguns.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
They're
They
eight-
had
it's an 870. That's all it is.
It
Yeah.
is an 870, but they did some really cool things. They had an optic cut on it. They
Yeah.
had they had it set up for Glock style sights,
Yeah.
which I thought was actually kind of cool.
Hold up. On a shotgun?
Yeah.
On PSA. Yeah.
That
PSA.
sounds fun.
So it's
That
like
sounds fun.
Yeah, so you can just take your Glock 19 sights off, or if you have like a set you just put it right.
Just
on
like
it.
same cuts, and then you
Yeah.
can buy like True Glow or Mariglow or whatever.
Excess.
That's
you
kind
know?
of sick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
incidentally, to just make you even more irritated, Hefe, because this gets them every single time. We got some upgraded sights for Nan's PDP.
Ooh.
Some excess
Big
sights.
dots?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm still like on my
Suppressor
Glock 19. I went back to the polymer sights and I just flipped the back one up backwards, so it's just a black rear sight.
No, you have a night sight.
Yeah, it's like cool. That's just,
why did you go back to the polymer ones?
I had the Costa Ludicus ones.
Yeah.
On it for a little bit, and then I put that on my Glock 17 because I had the fucking I guess I'm at this point where just 3-dot just doesn't do it for me anymore.
No.
I had to have a blackout rear
Yep.
sight.
Yeah.
with a
100%.
Yep.
100%.
So the Trigicon 3-dots that I had on my 17, I just hated,
Makes
and I
sense,
wasn't
yeah.
using my 19, so I swapped the sights on that. And then when I started putting my Glock 19 back in a fanny pack every so often, I just put those plastic ones back on.
Or your coveralls.
No, I don't put a Glock in there. That's dangerous, man.
Oh.
I'm just saying. You posted that you could.
That's probably my favorite person
Yeah.
in the world.
Or-
That's
or
like
revolver.
running like a
A revolver,
like a
yeah.
19 or like a 43X or something like in their front bib pocket, and I'm like, dude, I love you. I shouldn't, but it's dope.
No, just I mean that's it. That sounds pretty dangerous. Without a
You
trigger
just did an
guard.
Instagram post about that with like a J frame.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
front
J
of your-
frame though.
Yeah.
I mean that one's different.
But
think- I think-
you could
yeah.
you could easily put one of those trigger guards, those like holsters
Oh,
that are
yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah.
a trigger guard, you know, and then tie it off somehow. So when you draw it, it actually pulls it out.
Dude, there's a snap right there, just like on your jacket.
Yeah.
You could totally tie it off right there. That'd be perfect.
You probably could if you want to jerry rig it. That's fine. But
I think we just found out the big introduction for 2026 SHOT Show. That's what it is.
Ooh.
Right
the
there.
combat
Dude,
coveralls.
I could have that
combat
printed.
overalls.
Could have that printed ready to go in a week. We could do that.
Yeah. Just have Mantis on the ass.
Any trigger guard. No, don't tell my bosses. That is not. That's not for them. That's us.
That's
us.
an us thing. That's assless coveralls.
Live, laugh.
Assless champs. Oh my goodness. Oh, so we're right at 2 hours.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. So
Sick.
Part 2 of 3.
part 2 of 3. Yep.
is
So
the
if you guys
prelude.
missed episode 1, you're gonna have to go back and look for it.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna film it later
But you'll be at SHOT Show
for sure.
for sure.
Yep.
So we'll stay in touch.
Yep.
So at some point during the week, we'll try to figure out a evening that not too much is going on, and we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna have 4 mics, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna do just like
Full hash it out.
oh yeah,
All right.
yeah, and we've got 4 guys.
4 guys, 4 mics.
4
I haven't
guys,
smoked
4 mics.
hookah in like 7 years. We should do that.
You haven't what?
A hookah.
Oh, hookah. Yeah.
That used to be a thing, right?
That used to
Like,
be.
wasn't
Used
that-
to be a thing.
wasn't that
I mean,
thing?
I've got my pipe. I
Ooh,
smoke
I'd
pipe
rather.
every
I'm down.
sometime.
I'm down.
So, but anyway,
I
sorry.
won't be there.
I know. I'm sorry.
Taking care of wee ones.
Well, and I feel bad about that.
Why?
I mean, I don't feel bad that you have wee ones. I just feel bad that you're not able to go
No.
this time. You know.
We'll carry the spirit. We'll make
it's-
sure that it's ready for the next year.
It's definitely one of those. I think Matt kind of nailed out like because last year it was kind of the same thing with he was supposed to go, but then he had his son,
Right.
And it was just like, man, this is more important right now.
Of course.
100%,
No.
yeah.
100%.
No,
You know what
so
I'm saying?
it sucks.
But what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at is here we're talking about SHOT Show,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you're not able to go, so it makes me kind
I'll
of
be there
feel
in
bad.
spirit.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean,
I'm just here's what I'm going to do. When I walk around the floor,
Mhm.
I'm just going to have like I'm just going to FaceTime you and just walk around.
I think the only thing I'm really going to miss is finding some unique way to bully Ian McCollum. Accidentally.
2 years in a
2 years in a
row.
row.
I'll carry everything in the name of it. At any time,
Yeah.
even if it's not for you guys, if someone comes up and they're like, "Do you want to do an interview or anything like that?" I'll be like, "Only for Jefe." And I'm just gonna
Just
for
say that.
everything. It'll just
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
it's for the boss of bosses.
The first year I asked him about Raptor head shotguns. Ian McCollum, and then second year we're at the range day.
Oh,
We were shooting at the Kel-Tec, like their P90 looking thing, and him and I are having this conversation. And I was like, "You've never shot a P90, man?" He goes, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "What kind of loser hasn't shot a P90?" And the guy behind me goes, I haven't shot a P90. It turned out it's Ian McCullough. I'm like,
What a loser,
Okay,
dude.
well,
man.
go
What's
find
wrong
some
with you?
go find some like French handgun rounds or something. I don't know. Get out of here.
This is his year. Strike is going to have one. We can go do it.
What?
I'm telling you, Strike Industries, yes,
gonna
it's
have-
a whole new P90 frame.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the French handgun rounds that he talks about all the time.
Oh, no. I'm serious. Look it up on Instagram. It's dope.
I have to. Like Strike Industries is one of those. It's like the Caltech of accessories.
Dude,
like,
it's an enigma.
It's-
They did you see the flashlight mag base plates for?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah, it's one of those like sometimes cocaine hits hard and sometimes the cocaine hits hard, dude.
I just know that here recently I helped a buddy of mine, Landon, if you're listening. I mean, no disrespect by this, but he had one of the Strike Industries, like the really big brakes that are kind of like football shaped.
Oh yeah.
I
Yep.
can't remember what they're called.
Yep.
But he had one of those, and I'm just like, oh man, you're gonna piss a lot of people off at the range shooting
Yeah.
that thing.
Ugly as sin,
And so
too.
I had to help him install that last time I was in Wyoming. But his AR looks good. It looks cool. I actually have to say it looks cool with it on. As
Dude, I'll
odd as
take
it
it.
sounds,
I'll take it.
you know. So Landon, if you're listening, there you go. You know, there's your plug. But anyway, Strike Industries is an enigma. It's like should I like it? Should I not like it?
Like
it's
they're-
anodized.
It's like the
but
hair
it's not-
arms, like AR attachments
Yeah.
that make them look like P90s or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's fair, but
Right.
you know,
Right.
I see those and I'm like, something inside me tickles when I see it. I
Okay.
have to have it.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't really fully gotten behind the 5.7 as a caliber, I guess.
I don't know if that's fair or not, dude. P90s.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's 2025, you know?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
So
I mean, carrying 50 rounds on that thing, it's like
that is true. Yeah.
that's a cool trick on its own.
Yeah.
But if you shoot 50 rounds into level 4 plates, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, that's why they have pelvic girdles that you can hit.
How many people
Soft
know
armor
about,
exists.
How many people know about that? right?
Don't tell them about the girdles.
I know, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We're way past time,
Yeah.
but this is part 2 of 6 or whatever it is. So make sure you guys continue to listen for the follow-ups on this, because we're definitely going to have follow-ups here in just a couple of weeks from when you guys are listening to this, or actually just probably about
Was this releasing the 15th?
15th, yeah.
Okay.
So probably in about 7 days we'll have our shit show special, you know.
Woo!
So we'll have some great guests. Jake, you're more than welcome, of course.
Dude, I'd
Naturally,
be
I'll make
honored.
sure you know exactly where we're at. We're going to have Gear Know-How, Kyle from Gear Know-How. We'll have Rodrigo from H-Town Werewolf, Jake from Gun Quality,
whatever you
Gun Quality
Enforcement.
We may have our buddy Matt. He may be swinging by as well. He asked about it. Mr. Murphy.
No, I'm not talking about him.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm blanking on his name. Greg.
Oh, Greg, yeah,
Yeah.
OG, yeah,
OG.
yeah. He
Oh,
may be
Greg?
swinging by, yeah. So, so just be waiting for that, and then naturally, Jake, we'll have you back on.
Cool.
Maybe we do a follow up after SHOT Show to kind of get your take. On
We can
what
release
you
that
saw.
thing that we talked about that you're not supposed to talk
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That one thing.
That'll
yeah.
be public knowledge by then.
Yeah.
exactly.
Just chat it up.
You'll have one here, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
we
see.
will.
Last SHOT Show, I came home with the prototype with the scar. And that's my bag right now. I was going to show you guys.
Well, you have a scar, so
I do have a scar. Yeah.
Later.
There.
Later.
All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, guys, for swinging by and staying with us this far into the episode. We will catch you guys next time. As always, don't forget to live, laugh, and LARP. Bye, y'all.